Party official imprisoned over the Tiananmen Square protests that shook Beijing in 1989 has died at the age of 90.
In the 1980s, Bao Tong was one of a group of senior officials in China pushing for greater political and economic reforms. He served as an advisor to the then head of the Chinese Communist Party, Zhao Ziyang. But then came the Tiananmen protests. As the hardliners took control, Bao Tong was detained, as was his boss, Mr. Zhao. The advisor spent the last 3 decades of his life either in prison or under surveillance at home. Later in life, despite detention, he became one of the Communist Party's most vocal critics.
The BBC's Michael Bristow. Greece's Energy and Environment Minister says that U.S. energy giant ExxonMobil has started exploring for natural gas off the coast of southwestern Greece. Breaking news and analysis, townhall.com. Perhaps not surprisingly, Russia's Vladimir Putin will be a no-show at the upcoming G20 summit in Indonesia.
The news that Putin would not attend the G20 meeting was announced by an Indonesian government official. The move would enable the Russian leader to avoid a possible clash with the United States and its allies over the war in Ukraine. The summit would have been the first time President Joe Biden and President Putin were together at a gathering since the start of the Russian war in Ukraine. The event will take place on the Indonesian island of Bali and will start on November the 15th. I'm Karen Chamas.
Wall Street well pleased with the government's latest inflation report that suggests the Fed might back off interest rate hikes. Stock futures now sharply higher ahead of this morning's opening bell in about 25 minutes. Right now, the Dow futures up 783 points. NASDAQ futures ahead 455. It's a gain of 4%. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio. Yeah!
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to A Morning Without Mike Winters. That's right, I ain't he. That wouldn't be me. No, Mixmaster Mike Winters, he was here, and then he was gone. He stopped by for just a quick minute and let us know last night was a little rough. He's dealing with some distress of the intestinal variety, I guess. Or the best way I can think to put it, because I'm sure some of you are probably, indulging in a little breakfast right now. He became a human two-way sprinkler last evening. So, as in an abundance of precaution, we've gone ahead and sent Michael home for just a little while, let him get some rest. It's a busy day. It's a busy day heading into a busy weekend. So he said he'll be back inside this building later on today. But poor fella needed some rest. So we sent him on home and let him get just a little more rest before we put him through his paces. There's a hamster wheel in the other room. He's going to have to run that later. So we just want to make sure he's in tip-top shape. So, well, you didn't get the best of us. You're going to get the rest of us on this here Thursday morning. Hopefully yours off to a fantastic start. We got a busy show to get to. Also, by the way, a busy weekend to get to as well as we gear up for high school football action. That's right. We avoided it for a full week. We got out of it for a week with the bye week as our teams were number 1, number 2, and number 4 respectively. But playoff football action is going down this Friday night And Saturday, actually, as well. Friday, your Goddard Rockets going to be taking the field 1 hour early, actually. They're going to be taking the field starting at 6 o'clock with the kickoff. Pregame at 5:45. We'll have that game for you over on our sister station, Fiero 106.1 FM. Your Roswell Coyotes going to be taking the field on Saturday at noon. We'll have that game for you right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, and we'll have that for you with the pregame at 11:45 and the kickoff at noon. Hey, is that the sheet I was looking for? There's the sheet I was looking for. Yeah, it is. Goddard's going to be taking on Deming on Friday night. Like I said, pregame 5:45, kickoff at 6 o'clock. The number 2 seed Roswell High going to be taking on Gadsden at the Wool Bowl at 1 o'clock on Saturday. Pregame at 12:45, kickoff at 1 o'clock on Saturday. Then over on our sister station, AM 990 and 93.7 FM KSVP on Saturday, also at noon 30, we're going to have the pregame for the Artesia Bulldogs taking on Valley. The Vikings going to be traveling down to the world-famous Bulldog Bowl, and they'll be starting that game at 1 o'clock with a pregame at noon 45. And if you miss any of those games, you can always catch them in their entirety over on ksvptv.com. It's probably going to be the last week that we're going to be able to do playoff football, at least from the video perspective. They get a little chintzy with the rights on those videos. But we will have video coverage for you this week as we gear up for the quarterfinals of the NMAA 4A tournament. Once again, ksvptv.com. Just click on your team's tab, and you'll be treated to those games in their entirety. But make sure to check them out while you can, because the video probably not going to be there after this weekend. Let me give the rundown for what we got for you on this here Thursday morning. Coming up here in just a few minutes, around 7:15 or so, we're going to replay a few interviews today. We're going to replay the interview we had yesterday with Jen and Lee from American Legion Post 68, talking up the Veterans Parade this weekend. Obviously, gearing up for the holiday season ahead, and just some different ways that you can help out the American Legion Post 68. We'll get into that interview coming up here in just a few minutes, around 7:15 or so. Coming up around 8:15 in the 8 o'clock hour, we'll be replaying the interview that Mike had with Dr. Peter Jewell from Loveless Regional Hospital, talking up flu shots. It is that time of year, folks, flu season, and they're calling it a what was the term they used the other day? Triple-demic, I think is the terminology, which is like COVID and the variants and also the flu season that's supposed to be like the worst. Oh, no, that's what it is. COVID, the flu, and RSV, which is supposedly going around, and you might want to make sure your kids are protected against those nasty, nasty germs. But as we head into triple-demic status, make sure you're as vaccinated as possible, got your flu shots, and we'll be replaying that interview coming up here in the 8 o'clock hour. Coming up in the 9 o'clock hour, we should be joined with by Mr. Bob Power. We'll be chatting up the Veterans Dinner he's got coming up this Friday at the First United Methodist Church. We'll be chatting about that dinner and all the fun stuff that will entail coming up here in just a few minutes in the 9 o'clock hour as well. Plus, of course, your hourly features, which include your Town Hall Business Report, Kim Commando update. We'll have your Sean Hannity report and whatever else crosses our desks here in the hallowed halls of 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Well, right now at 12 minutes after 7 o'clock, let's get you up to date with the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Cooler temperatures on the way over the next few days following a cold front that's moving through our area. We'll be in the mid-60s on the afternoon high today, and it should be sunny, clear for the overnight hours, and we're looking at lows near 40, and then even cooler on Friday. It'll be a sunny day with our afternoon high in the low 50s. We'll stay in the mid-50s Saturday, low 60s Sunday, and sunny. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently looking at 49 degrees. I always have to blow this up a little bit. Even though Mike is a little older than me, I'm a lot more nearsighted than he is. Don't judge me. Looking at, let's see here. Humidity is about 52% with winds out of the north at about 10 miles an hour. The barometer about 29.95 inches with a dew point of 32 degrees. Looking for mostly sunny skies for the rest of your Thursday. 69 degrees. Going to be nice out there on this Thursday. Winds out of the northwest, 5 to 10 miles an hour, becoming southeast later in the afternoon. For tonight, mostly clear. It's going to get cold, folks. Seriously, seriously cold. 37 for the overnight low, mostly clear. Winds out of the northeast, 5 to 10, becoming north after midnight. Sunny and only 54 degrees for the high on Veterans Day. So bundle up. It's going to be cold out there this coming Veterans Day. Winds out of the north, 10 to 15 miles an hour. And then Friday night, oh boy, mostly clear, an overnight low of 27 degrees. Officially below freezing, so make sure to bring the plants and the pets inside. Maybe even giving the husband the night off and let him sleep on the couch. Winds out of the northeast at around 5 miles an hour, becoming southwest later after midnight. For your Saturday, mostly sunny, only getting up to 54 degrees. Once again, we are entering the cold time of the year. Clear and 33 for your Saturday night, 63 and sunny for your Sunday. Back down to 34 with partly cloudy skies for your Sunday night into Monday. Looking at mostly sunny skies, only 53 degrees for the high. And then on Tuesday, a high of only 48 degrees. Just for the record, we have a chance of some precipitation middle of next week, and they're not willing to call it rain, but they're not willing to call it snow. So I'm guessing probably get our first sleet of the season this time next week. 14 minutes after 7 o'clock. Going to pause, pay a couple of these bills, and after these, we're replaying that interview with Jen and Lee from American Legion, post 68 on a morning without Mike Winters. Stay tuned.
How often do you think your way is the best way? Every time, right? How often do you find out that your way isn't the best way, but you keep trying to make it right even when you know it isn't? More than we would like to admit, don't you agree? In Proverbs 3, Solomon says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your paths straight." Have you been relying on your own wisdom to live your life, but things just don't seem to be going very well? Are you lacking peace and contentment in your life? Maybe it's time to look to the Lord's wisdom to guide your life instead of your own. I'm not saying your life will be perfect when you follow Jesus, but you can find peace and contentment no matter what the circumstance. He leads you in the right way when you follow him every time. And even when life is hard, he will give you the strength and love to make it through.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
It takes a long time to develop trust. At LaGrone Funeral Chapel, they've been earning your trust for decades. They understand how important it is to friends and family to celebrate a life in the way you choose. The professionals at LaGrone will ease your stress and anxieties. They'll provide the guidance you need to select a service that's appropriate. And that's what they've been doing for generations, earning your trust and doing the right thing. LaGrone Funeral Chapel and Crematory, 900 South Main in Roswell. Online at LaGroneFuneralChapels.com.
You're invited to the annual Veterans Day Parade and Celebration, Saturday, November 12th, beginning at 9 a.m. on the Chavez County Courthouse lawn. Featuring guest speakers Sean Nicholson, music from Matt Miller and Tom Blake, and the laying of the wreaths by the Cub Scouts. The parade begins at 10 a.m. and moves north from the courthouse to the Wool Bowl. And enjoy special displays and food vendors after the parade in the Wool Bowl parking lot. To be a part of the event, contact Stephen Lee with the American Legion at 720-272-1455. Join us Saturday, November 12th, 9 a.m. on the Chavez County Courthouse lawn. Sponsored by Roswell Ford.
Chimera Independent Physicians offers world-class health care right here in Roswell. With their state-of-the-art facility, your family can receive expert care from many specialty doctors and experts covering oncology, hematology, neurology, rheumatology, endocrinology, primary care, and internal medicine. Lab services, radiology, and infusion center, all without leaving our community. Chimera Independent Physicians, located at 400 Military Heights Place, near the corner of Country Club and Military Heights in Roswell.
Fall is here, but it's not too late to get to Graves Farm and Garden and stock up on green chili in mild, medium, or hot, as well as dried red chili, perfect for Thanksgiving and seasonal recipes. Plus, firewood by the cord, delivered and stacked. Now's the time to stock up on hay bales with Sudan and alfalfa in both small and large bales. And the Graves Farm store is open Monday through Saturday, 8:30 to 5:30, and Sundays 1 to 5. 7.5 miles south of Roswell on the Old Dexter Highway. Graves Farm and Garden, where locally owned means locally grown.
At Anderson Bethany Funeral Home and Crematorium, we honor and pay tribute to the achievements of your loved one by celebrating the life you shared together. Anderson Bethany Funeral Home and Crematorium is compassionate and cares about our local community and the families we serve here in southeastern New Mexico. Locally owned and operated, we will be here to help you decide how to celebrate the bond you've shared and pay tribute to the unique individual you've lost. Visit us at 2609 South Main in Roswell or call 622-5888.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Due to extreme pressure and weather conditions, it literally rains diamonds on Neptune and Uranus. Stop snickering because I said Uranus. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 19 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from, I guess officially American Legion Post 61, but kind of representing our veterans folks here in general for the parade here today. Good morning, Jen and Lee back with us. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Actually, technically, we're representing all three legs of the American Legion.
We kind of
technically, because I'm the commander of both the Post and the Sons.
Yeah.
And she's the president, so
indeed,
you kind of have the whole ball of wax.
And then I'm a Legionnaire and a Son, so now we kind of got,
everything's covered.
Everything's double covered.
Nice.
That's right.
Yeah.
It won't let me be an auxiliary member. My wife's not a veteran. Sorry.
Right. Yep.
But if she was, I could.
Yeah, but as these laws change,
she's a veteran, just of not military, just other school and hard knocks.
Yeah. School teacher veteran.
Yes.
Hard job.
She's got battle scars. But
let's not go there.
But Friday is Veterans Day.
Yes, it
but
is.
This here as a community, we're going to have our big Veterans Day celebration Saturday morning.
Right.
We want to invite and encourage the community, the public, to be here on the Chavez County Courthouse lawn at 9 a.m. 9 a.m. is when our ceremony will start. It'll give or take 30, 45 minutes, roughly.
But we're asking people that are going to be in the parade to start showing up at 8:30.
Yes.
And park in the Pioneer Plaza and behind the
courthouse on Virginia there.
We'll feed everybody in there at 4th.
Just G. Willikers, there's a little bit more space behind the courthouse. That parking lot's a little larger than Pioneer Plaza, but those are the two gathering spots. So if you want to be in the parade, there is no pre-registration. It's kind of like the racing race with you brung kind of thing.
Right.
Parade with you brung. Come on out. I know we've got several vans and groups that are going to be visiting some of our assisted living facilities here in the community.
I talked to Don Weld yesterday.
Picking up
He's
some
got
veterans.
A bunch of veterans they're going to be picking up.
Is this part of the vet transportation?
Southeast, network.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. It's
Good.
pretty cool.
So, and by all means, if you're a business or an organization and want to be a part of this, and maybe grab a few veterans that are part of your organization, and let's put them in the parade and let's celebrate. And so please, so about 8:30 or so, everyone start gathering in those two if you want to be in the parade. If you want to come out and just watch and do everything else, 9 a.m. on the Chavez County Courthouse lawn, the ceremonies will begin. We'll have about a 30, 45-minute presentation, and then the parade will roll, and it'll be rolling. We had the sheriff on yesterday. He'll be on Friday, to talk a little bit more about,
What time is he on Friday?
The hour before you guys. You'll be on in the 9 o'clock.
Okay.
He'll be on. By the way, we may get cut a little short Friday. 9:45, I may have a volleyball playoff game starting. So we might get cut off at the very end there. It depends on what Goddard does tomorrow.
So we'll stack it up close to the front. Okay.
Yeah, Goddard starts their volleyball playoffs. They're the 1 seed, and they play at 3 o'clock tomorrow. If they win, which they're the 1 seed, they probably should, they will play it again 9:45 Friday morning. So
cool.
So
well, good luck to them.
Yeah. So,
we'll be doing our drawing.
Yeah, about that time. So
we'll do it in the beginning of the hour.
Yeah. We'll have a good 30 minutes of time before Kelly and everything takes over the radio here.
Okay. Cool.
And technically, I have control. I can delay them. I have that power.
Oh.
I get fired, but I have that power.
Yeah, let's not do that.
As long as you don't, keep continuously playing Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer or something.
But so the parade will kick off there about 30, 40 minutes after the presentation.
Right.
get a good spot along the parade route, and then once the parade is past you, follow it and come on down to the Wool Bowl. Because we're going to be hanging out at the Wool Bowl. We'll call it a Veterans Day celebration / pregame tailgate party for the Roswell Coyotes. They kick off at 1 o'clock at the Wool Bowl. We're going to be hanging out till about noon. So we figure from about 10-ish, 10:30, 10:15 till about noon, we'll be hanging out there. We're going to have lots of different booths and folks that are going to be coming out. I think the car show is going to be out there. So
I think we're going to have Alien Motor Speedway again out there too.
Oh,
they
cool.
had their
bring some of their
they're going to be in the parade and then go up the park so you can
love to see that.
Yeah.
So it might get a little loud. Just be warned.
Could be.
So,
yeah.
You know, it's because they don't come in quietly.
No, they do nothing quietly. But it's pretty cool.
Is the Guard going to be able to bring some of their few pieces
last
of their
I
stuff?
heard, yes.
Okay.
And
very
the
good.
Patriot Guard will be there with their motorcycles.
Awesome. So it's going to be a nice little gathering there.
Should be fun.
You know, I'm just saying, if you're a food truck, you might want to just pull on up and hang out for a little bit.
This year we got Cannon Air Force Base coming out, going to be an honor guard.
Oh, awesome.
But, obviously we'll have the Roswell Honor Guard performing for us for the ceremony.
Yeah. Right.
In the parade itself, we got that. Youth Challenge is scheduled to march up with the
caisson flag.
Yeah, the giant Garrison flag. It's pretty
Garrison
cool.
flag,
that's scheduled anyway.
Which takes about, 30 people to move that
Yeah,
thing?
it takes huge.
It takes a few people.
Yeah. It literally, I'm not joking. It to spread
takes
it
a
out.
lot of people.
Think of like when you watch this month, when you start watching the national anthems at NFL football games, and a lot of times they stretch out that big flag.
Yep.
It's not quite that big. That's
Not that
100
big.
yard, but it's almost that big. It's
Yeah.
pretty big. It's quite a
Makes me
sight
wonder
going
how
down the
big
street.
those stars are on those big, that covers the field. How big are the stars? I wonder.
I'll have to take a look Saturday and see if we can kind of eyeball it.
That'd be kind of cool to know.
guesstimate.
Tom Blake will be performing.
He's our singer?
Two of his signature tunes.
Good deal.
Yep.
This year we got the VFW is going to be doing the benediction.
Great.
So the invocation.
Do we ever
will be done
see if Matt
by,
Miller is going to make it or not?
Matt's not going to be able to make
That's
it. He's
unfortunate.
got an appointment down in Carlsbad.
Oh, unfortunately. So we got to lock him down one year. His bagpipes are a very good asset.
Well,
to
I
the-
know he's going to be performing at a couple other venues this year. So.
I imagine it's a busy time of year for a man that plays bagpipes, and
I would imagine it is.
Yeah, so he's probably in demand in several places here.
Yeah.
We will have Sean Nicholson is going to be our guest
That's
speaker at
I have
the
no
event.
clue what he's going to say.
But just to kind of give him a little background, he works for Leprino now.
He does.
He's the plant manager.
Yeah, he's a Marine.
Mm-hmm.
Warrant officer too.
Act accordingly there.
Just kidding. Well, I figured
Yeah,
I'll
he's
have
a great guy.
hangover on Friday.
but yeah, he's going to share his some of his experiences in the military, and
And he was in for a while.
yeah, he's got a lot of stories, a lot of good information. So I think folks will.
I'm looking
appreciate
forward to his
listening
speech, yeah.
to Sean. And he's an overall good
I
dude
have
too.
no idea what he's going to say.
And Sean is vital with our post, and
Yeah.
he's always helping out, and getting other entities to get involved to help out with us. He's been a real asset to our community.
For sure.
Yeah, he organized the whole gun drawing stuff. That was a good fundraiser for us. We'll be doing the drawing for the winner on Friday. We'll announce it Saturday.
Yeah.
At the parade.
And for folks that aren't aware, we always have a theme each year where we kind of honor, we honor all veterans, but usually we'll kind of put a special spotlight on a particular era or something like in the past we've done Vietnam, Korea. Well, this year we're honoring all those small skirmishes,
Yeah,
all
the
those
little ones.
Yeah,
All
those
the ones
ones
that most people don't even know about.
Yeah, they were on the 6 o'clock news a couple nights for a week, and then just disappeared off the lexicon. But
Well, and I'm pretty proud of our poster this year. It has all the little
this is my favorite one. By the way.
QR codes on there. Only one of them doesn't work, but the rest of them.
Do you know which one?
Yeah,
you try for yourself.
Bottom
No,
left.
let's make a game out of it. Let's see if they can figure out which
It's
one.
the bottom left one.
Yeah, you got to scan them all to see which one.
But to me, it's more educational this year.
Absolutely.
Than just a work of art.
Sure.
Which I think it's a worst art. Destiny Gutierrez over at Roswell.
Crumlin?
Crumlin, but
Oh, okay.
Roswell Honda or whatever.
I think
it was.
it's so,
can't
yeah.
remember what. Anyway, she did the poster for us. I mean, we gave her a rough idea. Larry Longo, the chaplain over at 28, had like this rough sketch.
Yeah, and it was
we
really
handed
cool.
that to her. She was happy. And
yeah, she did a really
she
good
did a
job.
really good job. Unfortunately, she had to redo all the QR codes for me because The ones that I did, they turned around and said, "Oh, you got to pay for them."
Oh.
So she redid all of them for us. So I really appreciate that.
She saved our bacon.
Yeah.
But I must say, it's a very educational poster. And
it's one of my favorites.
These are just the wars and conflicts that the U.S. was involved in between 1975 and 1991 that were declassified. I want to make that clear that there's always something going on, even if the public doesn't know about it. So there are battles that happen all the time that we couldn't put on the poster because they're sensitive or classified.
So
this
in
is
our
not,
world, in your world, they didn't exist yet.
This is not an exhaustive list.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's only, about 12, 13 different events there?
Something like that.
Yeah.
But the reality here is there are a lot of ones that we didn't include on there that were Cold War I because we wanted to stay in time frame. So, like I said, there are other ones like Bay of Pigs and
all
different things like
These are
that
more
that we didn't include
after that era,
because we were trying to go after Vietnam but before Gulf War.
And to be honest, not that Bay of Pigs isn't, but it's a lot bigger. Like it's more known than some of the ones we're talking about.
Oh, certainly.
Right.
Bay of Pigs is,
even I know about that one, and I'm not a history buff
you may
by
not
any
know
means.
all the details of what happened, but you at
Right.
least are aware of the Bay of Pigs and
Yes.
what took place, some of what took place.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, some of the criticism that we received about the poster is, well, you didn't include this or didn't include that.
No,
Well,
there's always going to be those.
You know, the reality is we had to make choices, and this is what we chose. Now, we may at some future date go back and start doing other things too, but at this point, the idea was next year we'd move on to Gulf War.
Gotcha.
So,
but that's the beauty of Veterans Day. They come every year, and we get to do different themes each year, and maybe some of those ones we didn't get a part of this year we'll add to future years.
Oh, for sure.
That's the beauty of it.
Unfortunately, the fact is we'll always be involved in something, so there will always be something to talk about.
Unfortunately, we'll have plenty of wars to.
The only misquote I had in the paper is, we've basically been at war since 1775 in some form or fashion, but they published it in the paper as 1975, which is okay. But I mean, the reality is there's a lot more going on than, what anybody really knows.
Oh,
I mean,
absolutely.
when I was in the service, I was on a command platform, and I knew about stuff that was going on that will never make the papers.
Well,
so,
and I think it's just modern times. I mean, let's face it. Vietnam War was the first war that was kind of put on people's TVs at home and everything, and so that's kind of where it started.
Oh, sure.
And then, of course, by the time 91 hit and Gulf War I hit, I mean, they're literally, the media's ahead of the military. They're staying on the beach like, we've been waiting on you for an hour. Where you been?
Right? Yeah, in some cases.
And that's so. It's just part of the world we live in. So you didn't, World War II and all that. There wasn't.
It wasn't a living room war.
Yeah. Well, and certainly.
Well, it kind of was because you had all the newsreel stuff going on.
But people had to go to the movies to see that. There
Pretty
wasn't
much,
sitting on a phone or something you could just have access anytime, or
right.
Catch the casualty reports in the newspaper each day or whatever.
Well, I think it was good that we had embedded reporters in Vietnam, and I think it was bad that we had embedded reporters in Vietnam because war is a very messy business.
Mm-hmm.
Extremely.
And the thing is, most people don't have the stomach for what has to be done in a war, and most people find it morally reprehensible. But the reality is, war is not a scalpel. War is a broadsword.
Yeah.
Okay. There's collateral damage. Things happen. And I realize that
Everybody's
there's been
impacted when war
some
hits.
administrations that think, well, we can just send unarmed drones or missiles or whatever, but that doesn't win wars.
Gulf War, people think every war's a Gulf War. Like we can just roll in and everyone's going to start mass surrendering when we show up with our flags and our
you gotta
and it's
That would be nice.
at Putin and Ukraine. Putin is a nuclear power, yet he is, barely holding his own in Ukraine right now. So modern warfare dictates that unless we're willing to use nuclear weapons, this is the type of war that you're going to end up fighting. I mean, look at what happened to us in Afghanistan. Look at what happened to us in even Bosnia, Herzegovina. all these little things, we didn't make much progress.
Mm-hmm.
And why? Because we're only willing to go so far.
Sure.
And also there was no political will to win. And that's the other problem as well. When you don't back the people you send over there, they just become fodder.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll get off my soapbox here, but the truth of the matter is veterans answer this call every single day.
And this is why veterans were so mad about the Afghanistan
debacle.
Yeah,
right.
That happened.
Which I don't want to turn this into political.
Sure.
Because the American Legion is neutral. We don't have political opinions, but I do have opinions on disasters as it reflects upon the military.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what Afghanistan was.
Absolutely. It's and to be honest, Afghanistan was the same problem from the Russians in the 70s.
Afghanistan has always been the problem because that's where all the opioids and everything that happens. But they hide in the hills and they hide in the ground. I mean, it's almost as bad as Vietnam. They've got tunnels. I mean, it's very hard to root, a very dedicated force out to get you when they are so well fortified. I mean, look at Iwo Jima, World War II. I mean, they were still pulling people out of there in the 60s thinking that the war was still going on. So
now you got to get dirty and get in there and dig them out. That's exactly what and it's not pretty work to make that happen. And that is why we honor veterans, because that dirty work.
You expect a lot out of a veteran.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's the dirty work they do, and all we do is while you sit here at home and enjoy your lives, these people are, and this has been going on for generation and generation. And just because technology's changed doesn't mean that same work isn't being done.
Right.
And that's what
the
you gotta
problem
realize.
with having embedded reporters is the fact that it was blasted up on every TV screen and nobody liked it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So when the Vietnam veteran came back, they were broken and they didn't get the help that they needed. It took them 20 years to get help.
Yep.
Right.
This is why this day is so important.
It is extremely important. And one of the nice things about this particular Veterans Day is it falls on a Friday.
Yeah.
And most folks know that you wear red on Fridays to remember everyone deployed. So it kind of works out. So you come on Friday to wear red, and you can also do the Veterans Day parade. So if everybody's wearing red, that would be wonderful.
Yeah. Now, Friday night, you're probably going to put your blue on for the football, but then put your red back on for Saturday.
Right.
But I would ask if you were able, line the streets.
Please come out.
Wave
Please
your
support.
flags.
Thank our veterans.
Let us know that you care.
Yeah.
I mean, that's we do this for the community. And that's the other thing, too. We got bogged down a lot in the battles to have this parade this year. But the reality is we do this for the community. We don't do this for us.
No.
And please understand that, it was a war this year.
Yeah.
I mean, this was trench warfare this year just to have this happen.
There was a lot of
sure.
hurdles that happened and a lot of behind the scenes stuff. We don't want to get into it on the
I
radio.
don't want to do that. But what I'm saying is, if you want this parade to continue and be successful, come out and see us.
And we know that Roswell,
Support
we know that
it.
Roswell
Absolutely.
and Chavez County is a very patriotic community. So demonstrate that. Line the streets. Thank your veterans. Make your presence known.
Come on out. Come hang out on the Pioneer Plaza, courthouse lawn where we're doing the ceremony. Sidewalk. Fill up that whole area with people.
There's nothing sadder than doing a parade and there's nobody standing there cheering you on.
I do want to thank some real patriots, as far as I'm concerned. Like Stacy Lemon and Destiny Gutierrez over at Crumlin.
They've been very helpful.
Of course, Crumlin donated a bunch of money for us this year too, so got to call them out too. Lagrone sent us a bunch of money. Plateau Networks, Johnny's Car Care.
We have quite a bevy.
Loprino Foods,
Chimera,
all
Independent sorts
Physicians,
of folks.
Street Shot
Wireless. I mean,
everyone's tilting their head trying to read them.
but we put stuff on there,
Sure.
like you guys. You guys have always been really good supporters of us. And, of course, Southwest Printers, which prints up all the posters.
Yep.
So, I mean, this year, as far as donations are concerned, we kind of broke even. because this year we added some benefit and stuff like that to the people that donated. And so pretty much all of the money that we raised ended up supporting the parade. Plus the fact that the parade was not free. So we still had to pay money just to have the parade this year.
Which is fine. We're not in the money-making business on a parade, but so we're glad that at least it's paying for itself, and we thank our sponsors for allowing that to be.
Right. Traditionally, this was our big fundraiser every year. But as it's going to turn out, it's basically just covering the cost. So.
Yeah.
But it's important nonetheless. That's why we do it. So please come out. Bring veterans. Come on out. I say this all the time. I know there's a lot of vets out there that rather lay low and not, receive recognition and things. And I can understand that. I get it. But you kind of have a new role. And your new role is to inspire the next generation to do what you did.
Right.
And that's why when we talk about Goddard and Roswell, when they do their veterans, which, by the way, tomorrow is Goddard.
Yeah. And Roswell High is Friday.
Friday, yes. About 11, I think, on Goddard.
I think Roswell is 1, I think.
And then Goddard, I think, is 11.
Is like 11 a.m.
Yeah. But that's why it's so important you support those, because, A, you get treated like a rock star. It's really cool. But it really reminds the younger generations of it puts a face to what we talk about, what we've been told. We talk, hopefully the kids are learning somewhere about the importance of our freedom in this country and how great we have it here,
right.
and the cost the cost of keeping it that way are these veterans. When you want to know the cost of that, you look in the eyes of a veteran, and that's where you see the cost of that, and that's why this is so important.
And I remember being a kid and having never served in the military myself. It's a totally different way of living that most of us have no idea what it's like.
Mm-hmm.
We don't even know how it is that you guys live your day-to-day life in the military, even outside of the battles and all that sort of thing.
You'd probably shake your head, actually.
Right. So just listening to the stories and learning about the military, not only is it informative and you learn about the history and the importance of it, but for those of us that we're kind of considering it, maybe, on the fence about it, but we're a little unsure, it makes it more approachable. So those that are kind of on the fence if they want to join or not, if you tell them the stories and you make it something that's not as scary, they're more likely to volunteer. And most of our force is volunteers. Yeah. So make it something that is a good thing.
It is now. Yeah, absolutely.
We haven't had a draft in a very long time.
Hopefully Saturday won't be too smelly. They're tearing the streets up out there on Main Street.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that we'll have fresh black tar.
Well, they're working quick. I'll give them. They did the north end quick.
Yes.
They still got to paint and stripes and things, but they laid the asphalt pretty quick on that side, and so they're booking it.
Well, and the veterans went through some things. I think we can deal with a little bit of asphalt smell. So come support our veterans.
Honoring veterans. As we move beyond Veterans Day, my next big focus right now here, folks, is Wreaths Across America. I'm the regional coordinator for this area. We need 300 wreaths.
Minimum.
They cost $15 a piece to sponsor. You can do it either by sending money to the post, or you can go to my website, roswelllegion.org. There is a link at the very top of the page to the Wreaths Across America page for our area.
Okay.
And I want to tell you that $15 that you sponsor a wreath, I don't see a nickel of it. All of it goes to Wreaths Across America, but we get the wreaths, and we get to lay them on veterans' graves on December 17th this year. We start at Memory Lawn, and anything in excess, we'll put a couple down at Chavez County Courthouse lawn. We always put one there, a couple of there at the memorial.
At the memorial, yeah.
Right.
But anything more than that goes to McBride.
Yeah.
South Park.
We have a lot more than 300 veterans that are resting here in Roswell.
3,300 at least.
And that would be great if we get 3,300.
I don't expect
but
those
if we can get a few hundred here to certainly take over Memory Lawn, where our post is adopted,
right?
And then help over at
you
South
want to
Park
make a
and all that.
though, just sponsor a couple of wreaths. I mean,
$15.
That is a huge impact.
One wreath, $15 puts one wreath on one veteran's grave.
That's right.
And we got some deadlines coming up, but probably the easiest way, and it really, it cuts out the middleman, it saves a lot of time, is go to roswelllegion.org, click that link that Lee is talking about for Wreaths Across America. December 17th is distribution day. That's the day we'll go.
All the wreaths have to be purchased and ordered by November 29th.
So by the end of this month here, the second to last day of the month, November 29th, you got to hit that link and buy a wreath.
If you can squeeze $15 out, let me know, because we need wreaths.
Right. And if you can do more than that,
I think we only have about 45 wreaths sponsored currently.
Okay.
I know that Pat's bringing in about 10 more. Usually the namesake of our post buys a few, and then of course the Mayhew said that they were going to purchase some, but I haven't seen that check just yet.
Okay.
So this Thanksgiving, we're all thankful for many things in our life, but remember our veterans.
Mm-hmm.
So this is another way. If you can't make it out to Veterans Day, or you can't, make it to the parade, I understand it. It happens. But please consider donating to Wreaths Across America so that you can at least honor them during the holiday season.
Mm-hmm.
The only other thing that we got going on is we're on track to donate 12 turkeys this year. So
good.
The homeless shelters and stuff like that. So that's our plan.
Okay.
Right now.
So we're gathering our birds and getting them together, and
but that's what we got sponsors for, is this stuff.
And that's just something little we do every year, where we get together and we try to get a dozen turkeys, and then there are places around town that we know are constantly feeding folks on the Thanksgiving. We dropped off a few turkeys for them. So
and then I got enough candy to put you on the space shuttle, so we'll be delivering candy with it.
Yes.
Hey,
yeah.
Candy makes a good stuffing.
It does. Yeah. Great stocking stuffers. Yeah.
But please, Wreaths Across, I'd love if you have a veteran in your family, honor them.
Yes.
Buy a wreath in their name. If you have several veterans, buy several wreaths.
Yes.
Please do that. And again, roswelllegion.org. Hang out there for a little bit. Read all about our post and learn more about it. But you'll find a link right there. It's at the top there, right?
Yeah, it's the very top.
Very top there. For Wreaths Across America. Click that link. That'll go give you all the steps to order and pay and help out for Wreaths Across. This is a national campaign. We're just a part of it. Like Lee was saying, the money that you donate doesn't even go anywhere near to us. It goes to Wreaths Across America.
Yes, it does.
And then when you give them the money, they send us wreaths, and then we go put them out. At the
Any
Veterans
money you
Grace.
give me, I turn around and I buy wreaths with that money.
Yeah.
And there's no markup, nothing. It's $15.
Yeah.
That's it.
So please, this is a great way. Thanksgiving, here's a couple weeks away. You want to give thanks, thank a veteran. This is a great way to do that.
If you want to just donate to the post, it's right there too, down in the down by the pillars on the page.
Oh yeah, we always use money too. Don't get me wrong.
Money helps.
Oh yes,
because and
I know that fortunately we're getting in the winter months here, so there's going to be less grass cutting and things. But memory lawn expenses are getting to a point where we're getting a little dry on those.
Our memory lawn account is at the lowest point that it's
so
been
we could use some donations for that.
Yeah.
You can earmark directly if you want and say, hey, and through the website say, hey, can you put this towards memory lawn?
Yes.
We'd be happy to do that.
Yeah, we got to finish painting the fence out there, and then after that, we're working on grants and stuff like that to see if we can get the irrigation system going. But there's a lot of things going on behind the scenes, and for your listenership out there, I'll tell you, we had a bit of a setback here because the guy that owned the cemetery died.
Yeah.
So there has been a few months of transition work,
logistics and things
in the background. So, bear with us.
But I know our volunteers have been through this whole time mowing and keeping things
Frank Everett and Ralph Green.
They're our heroes.
By the way,
our Legionnaire
Ralph
of the
Green
Year
is our Legionnaire of the Year.
Well deserved. Matter of fact, you might want to just go ahead and make him next year's. I think he's done enough to kind of cover 2 years, I think.
Well, actually, Don Weld probably needs to be next
year,
year,
he's in there too. Well, Don Weld was last year's, right? I think Don was our Legionnaire last year, wasn't he?
Could be. I don't know.
I think he was.
They all do so much good work.
Well, it's like trying to pick your favorite kids, in all fairness.
It's
true. We have so many.
And of course, your own Mike Winters.
But I don't hold a candle to those guys. I just have a loud mouth, and some people listen.
Well, maybe that's enough.
That's my biggest asset.
Well, it's a good one. It definitely helps.
But please come out and join us this Saturday. Again, if you care to be a part of the parade, which I really hope some folks out there do, join us 8:30, either at Pioneer Plaza or the parking lot behind the courthouse there off Virginia. Where they're gathering.
And it can
there.
be totally last minute. You got a wild hair and you want to go up the street with us? Please do.
We're just wanting to give a bunch of love to our veterans in our community here, and then of course to come and if you just want to come and watch, witness, and see everything, 9 a.m. Chavez County Courthouse lawn. Everything will get underway. Afterwards, come follow the parade, watch it, follow it, and then come hang out with us at the Wool Bowl for a little get-together celebration / Coyote pregame tailgate party. Because
it's going to be lots of fun.
Because the game at 1 o'clock there. And then, of course, Wreaths Across America, RoswellLegion.org is the website. Go there. Learn about that. Scholarships and things. If you want information about our scholarships, all of that is at that website, too. So when you're done buying a bunch of wreaths, go ahead and start looking at some of that other stuff. And, if you want to.
I do want to make mention, I want to thank all the people who sponsored Charity Bears this year.
Yeah.
We did deliver.
Reineke Medical has been our biggest sponsor for that.
I did deliver.
We're still getting more requests, too, aren't we?
We
are.
Yeah.
I delivered 12 bears to the Roswell Police Department, and we turned around and gave another 12 to Mike Harrington,
Great.
the sheriff, because according to him, in the winter months, they go through about 15 of these a month.
Oh, wow. So it's a busier season
in
for
the
them.
summertime, he says that drops down to 2 or 3. So
I'm guessing it's people are indoors versus outdoors, and when they're indoors,
they're stuck with each other.
Things happen.
Yeah.
It's kind of.
So anyway, I do want to thank specifically Reineke Medical. They sponsored 70 bears.
Yeah. That's been their passion project with us.
Yeah.
They
is
really
our charity
like
bear
theirs.
program.
Yep.
And quite frankly, we probably wouldn't have been able to pull it off without Reineke Medical.
No,
they're the
that's
one
very true.
that helped us do that. So big thank you to them.
And we did send about 12 bears out to Hagerman, too.
Oh, that's right. We forgot about
to
that.
the fire and rescue.
Yeah, they actually made a request on, I think it was Facebook.
Yeah, I happened to see it on Facebook and said, hey, guys, these guys are asking for bears. You think we can help them out?
Yeah, I forgot about that. We gave 12 to that fire department down there.
Yeah. So, and again, that's all thanks to everyone out there for helping support us. And by the way, if you're like, oh, I'd love to do that, want to give us money for bears? Don't hit the donate now button on our website there, and you can earmark that too, sir.
We need more
bears.
people to help make these things. I mean, you don't even have to know how to sew.
I have no idea how to sew.
Cutting, tracing.
Yeah. They do have a
putting
assembly
the
line,
cute little pupils on there and put the little bows on them and stuff like
Yep.
that. I mean, hot glue machine.
It's not even hot glue. It's just regular glue.
Oh, it's regular glue.
Henry Ford would be
fabric glue.
proud with their.
There's an assembly line thing.
Yeah.
But we're asking everybody. You don't even have to be a member. If you want to come out on a Thursday night and help make these things, that would help us out tremendously.
Yeah.
We got members from 28 come over, and they're not even members of our post, just to help out with the project.
They get the camaraderie in the meeting.
They get it.
Absolutely.
And
So,
if
good
you
to
don't
hear.
have time to donate, if you have something just hanging out in your attic or the basement and you're just not using the fabric or the stuffing,
Sure.
you know, we'll give it a good
I know
home.
how crafters are. You hoard fabrics and things. I know. My mom was one of them. When my mom passed, I literally had enough yarn to hit
good
Montana.
Use. We'll put it to good use.
My mom passed, I literally had enough yarn to yarn up all of Montana. It was huge. So I know you guys have extra stuff. You got some. Dig out that old box. Even and give us a.
Even if you think it's scrap, I mean, if it's big
That's
enough
what
to
we
make
make
a bear,
the
that's what we
hearts
make
and
the
the-
bear out of.
Yeah.
We make the little hearts and the
Billies.
little bows out of it.
Yeah.
We're making out of whatever's available. It's not.
I do
silk
understand that
parachutes.
we're going to be making more than bears now. I think we're talking about bunny rabbits.
Oh,
and
good.
stuff
Up in
like
the
that,
puppies.
so.
They're
we
adding
gotta-
to the characters.
Well, we got to mix it up a little bit. I think some of our crafters are getting a little burnt So
they're
gonna,
ready for something.
That's why
new.
we need more help. We need fresh blood to come in and keep us with this project. It's a vital project.
Yeah.
We don't want to see it go away, but we really need people to help out.
It's just that little piece of light in a very dark world for someone, and that's all it is. We're just trying to help out someone that's
Think
going
of
through a
the
rough
child's
situation.
life
Yeah.
that you're,
Kids in
distracting enough to
doesn't
keep
know
them
what's
happy.
going on.
Right.
The kid's just there living life and doesn't
Oh, hey, I
understand
got a
or
new
realize what's
toy.
going
There
on.
you go.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So how do we keep them occupied and keep them from not really shielding them from the bad stuff that's going on? This is just a little effort.
RoswellLegion.org. We need your help. Anybody that can help financially or you got some time or anyway. Wreaths we need all this stuff. So
and this Saturday,
help us
9 a.m.
out. 9 a.m. this morning, but
and we're going to be
Saturday
back,
morning,
and they'll be back Friday to remind you one more time.
Yes.
Yeah,
wear your red on
I guess
Friday.
we're going to get cut off. So.
Well, yes. If things go the way we want them to, we will. Because
and that's okay.
Yeah, that's because we want Goddard to win. So
Exactly.
We do know that football's more important.
Yeah. Well, this is volleyball.
Oh,
Yeah, see there.
See, I don't even keep track.
Well, thank you guys. I appreciate it. We'll see you here in a couple days. All right.
All right. Thanks, Mike.
Anytime. It's 8:54. Let's pause for.
Locations in the New Mexico service area, and that's on top of the almost $70 million investment in the region's distribution network the company said it made last year. Members of the Roswell Police Department SWAT team recently competed in the Texas Tactical Police Officers Association SWAT competition in Conroe, Texas. RPD was the only department from New Mexico taking part in the October 6th through 9th competition that featured 30 teams. The team-oriented competition consisted of 8 events during the 4 days, with most events focusing on physical fitness and shooting skills. You're up to date with local news headlines. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
At number 1 Hacker Way in Menlo Park, California, there's a slow-motion train wreck in progress. Let me paint you this picture in words. I'm Kim Commando, brought to you by T-Mobile. Their advanced network now goes farther than ever before. Visit T-Mobile.com/55 today. Yesterday, Mark Zuckerberg sent out a cold-hearted email at 6 in the morning, only 2 weeks until Thanksgiving, 6 weeks to Christmas. 11,000 of Facebook Meta employees were, without notice, fired just like that. The letter stated that the company must be made, quoting now, leaner. Where are Dickens' 3 ghosts when you need them? Now, I told you I'd paint a picture. Imagine a powerful man-child CEO disconnected from the world, ignoring all advice and sinking untold billions of shareholders' money into a goofy project that no one wants, while the core advertising business at Facebook flounders and 11,000 now face the holidays unemployed. Metacopa, Mark Zuckerberg. For more tech smarts, try my new daily fun tech podcast called Kim Commando Today. If you've thought about protecting your home with security, but have been putting it off, listen up. Right now, listeners can get the #1 rated SimpliSafe home security system for 50% off. This is their biggest offer of the year, and you won't want to miss it. In an emergency, professional monitoring agents use Fast Protect technology to capture critical evidence and verify that the threat is real, leading to faster police dispatch. SimpliSafe is whole home security with advanced sensors for every room, window, and door. 24/7 professional monitoring costs under $1 a day, less than half the price of ADT. And with their top-rated app, stay in complete control of your system. Arm or disarm, unlock for a guest, access your cameras, or adjust system settings. Don't miss your chance for a massive savings on my favorite security system. Get 50% off any new system at simplysafekim.com. This is their biggest discount of the year. Visit simplysafekim.com. There's no safe like SimpliSafe.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Cooler temperatures on the way over the next few days following a cold front that's moving through our area. We'll be in the mid-60s on the afternoon high today, and it should be sunny, clear for the overnight hours, and we're looking at lows near 40, and then even cooler on Friday. It'll be a sunny day with our afternoon high in the low 50s. We'll stay in the mid-50s Saturday, low 60s Sunday, and sunny. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. State volleyball is happening today in Rio Rancho. The Goddard Rockets, top seed in Class 4A, will wait in the wings and play at 3 o'clock against the winner of the earlier match today between Academy and Silver. Also today, you've got Hagerman playing Manal at 8 o'clock this morning in Class 2A. And 8:15 tonight, it's Gateway Christian, the second seed in 1A, playing against the winner of today's Fort Sumner against Roy match. And then you've got football tomorrow. Goddard and Roswell, after byes last week, passed the first round of the 5A bracket. They'll be playing this weekend. Friday night, Goddard against Deming starts at 6 o'clock at the Wool Bowl. And then Roswell, the second seed, will play on Saturday against Gadsden at 1 o'clock. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Andrew Stewart. Elon Musk trying to reassure advertisers on Twitter.
Musk told big companies that want to advertise his takeover of Twitter won't harm their brand.
I'm not going to always knock the ball out of the park. But when we make a dumb move, we correct it quickly. That's what really matters.
Musk's goal is a better, safer Twitter experience.
Obviously, Twitter cannot simply be some extension of me, because then anyone who doesn't agree with me will be put off. So Twitter must be, as a platform, as neutral as possible.
Twitter began adding labels to some prominent accounts to indicate they are authentic. A few hours later, the labels started disappearing. Musk also wants to charge $8 a month for a blue check confirming a Twitter account's authenticity. I'm Ed Donahue.
On Wall Street yesterday, the Dow dropped 2%, the Nasdaq off more than 2%. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Andrew Stewart.
This is the owner of Trustmark Roofing, and nothing makes us happier than telling our customers no. As in, no pricing games. We give you a guaranteed price, and then we stand by it. No surprises, no gotchas. No obscurity. We don't just tell you what's wrong with your roof. We record our inspections and show you. No lemons. We install premium roofing materials from top brands like Owens Corning. No shortcuts. We're in the 2% of roofers with the Owens Corning Preferred Contractor Certificate for our local area. This means we offer precision installation and the longest warranties. Want a beautiful new roof that's built to last? Choose Trustmark Roofing, the roofer that loves to tell our customers no. For an estimate, call us at 575-755-ROOF or find us online at trustmarkroofpros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
If a sports injury is keeping you from the physical activities you love, the sports medicine team at Artesia General Hospital can help. Their orthopedic specialists and physical therapists work closely with you throughout diagnosis and treatment. No matter the injury, from ACL injuries, golfers and tennis elbow to foot and ankle pain, they'll get you back in the game. Appointments are available in Carlsbad. Request an appointment at artesiageneral.com/sports.
Roswell's home for talk radio is 106.5 FM, KEND Roswell.
The inflation pressures that have gripped the nation might be
Here's
easing
a Mornings with Mike Winters fun.
And consumers grow more cautious. Consumer inflation reached 7.7% in October from a year earlier and 0.4% from September. The year-over-year gain was the smallest since January. Excluding volatile food and energy prices, core inflation rose 6.3% in the past 12 months and 0.3% from September.
That's correspondent Jeremy House. Following landfall early today as a hurricane along the state's east coast, now tropical storm Nicole continues moving northwest across central Florida.
We do expect that Nicole is going to continue moving generally to the west-northwest today across the Florida Peninsula. It could reemerge over the Gulf of Mexico this afternoon, but it won't be over water very long.
The National Hurricane Center's Robbie Berg, and the storm has cut power to more than 300,000 Floridians. The 2024 presidential race could wind up being a repeat of 2020.
A day after the midterms, President Biden discussed his political future.
Our intention is to run again. That's been our intention, regardless of what the outcome of this election was.
He said it would be a family decision and expects to have an answer early next year. Former President Donald Trump has been teasing a re-election bid, too, and says he plans to make a big announcement next week. Greg Clugston, Washington.
And the jury is still out on which party will control Congress. Republicans are edging closer to a narrow majority in the House, while the Senate majority could hinge on next month's runoff in Georgia. Looking at Wall Street, the Dow's up 907 points. The Nasdaq ahead 589. That's a gain of almost 6%. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Hey, I'm Andy. I started Harry's because I was frustrated with buying razors at the drugstore. And when I say frustrated, I mean like so upset I called my friend Jeff.
Hello, this is Jeff.
Jeff, I'm at the store, and I don't get why these razors
cost so much?
Yeah, and do they need to look like robots?
Dude, I know. And it's so frustrating how expensive they are.
Getting ripped off sucks.
We gotta do something about this.
Why don't we make our own high-quality razors at much better prices?
Actually, I heard about this German razor factory that makes some really high-quality blades.
Really? Okay, maybe that's not exactly how it went, but we did buy that German factory, where we're turning high-quality steel into super sharp blades for a smooth shave at a great price. Seriously, as low as $2 per cartridge. Over the past 10 years, 20 million people have tried Harry's. Join them and get your starter set now. That's a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, and shave gel, all for just $3 with free shipping, backed by our quality guarantee. If you don't like it, it's on us. Just go to harrys.com now and enter code MODERN at checkout. That's harrys.com, code MODERN.
Another setback for the rights of women and girls in Afghanistan.
The Taliban is banning women from using gyms in Afghanistan. The move is the latest restriction that has seen the religious group crack down on women's freedoms since they took power more than a year ago. Ever since the Taliban overran Afghanistan last August, they have banned girls from middle school and high school and restricted women from taking on most jobs. They have also ordered women to wear head-to-toe clothing in public. The constant curtailing of women's liberties is a U-turn from their initial promises to the country that women's rights would be respected. I'm Karen Chamas.
Striking subway workers shut down half of the Paris metro lines today. It's a nationwide day of walkouts and protests by French train drivers, teachers, and other public sector workers. They're demanding that the government and employers increase pay to keep up with inflation, which is raging in France. Breaking news and analysis, townhall.com. 862 jobs on the chopping block at online real estate broker Redfin.
And also shutting down its instant cash offer subsidiary, Redfin Now. Another casualty of 2-decade high interest rates stoked by the Federal Reserve's fight against inflation. The job cuts amount to 13% of Redfin's workforce, the company announced in a regulatory filing. Redfin has laid off 470 employees in June, blaming slowing home sales. Redfin has cut more than a quarter of its workforce since April 2022, on the assumption that the housing downturn will last at least through 2023. John Scott reporting.
Elon Musk is reassuring major Twitter advertisers that his takeover of the social media platform will not damage their brands. He acknowledges that some dumb things, as he puts it, might happen on his way to creating a better, safer user experience. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The traveler said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
The Deuce.
Of a morning without Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Thursday. Welcome to the penultimate day of your work and or school week. That's right, I said penultimate. Go ahead and look it up. Next to last. It's usually the better one, too. If you remember the second to last episode of Breaking Bad. Now, no, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. The last episode was amazing. But the second to last episode, it set so much up and it left you wanting so much. And then that jump for over 6-7 months into the future for the last episode. But that penultimate episode, it really set it up. I'll tell you what, made it sing. But happy Thursday, welcome to it. Hopefully yours off to a fantastic start. Calling a bit of an audible, we were going to play the interview with Dr. Peter Jewell from Loveless regarding flu shots. And yes, you should absolutely get your flu shots. please get yourself inoculated and immunized. But calling an audible, we are actually going to replay the interview Mike had with Sheriff Mike Harrington and Diane Taylor from the Chavez County Health Council coming up here in just a few minutes here at around 15 after the hour or so. So we'll get into that here in just a few minutes. Plus, of course, your hourly features, which this hour include your town hall business update, your Chavez County sports report, and, of course, whatever else crosses this desk. Busy weekend. You guys excited?
Yes.
Over in Videoland?
Yes.
Getting all your ducks in a row as the football season kicks off. We got volleyball today. That's going to be getting underway. I think Goddard, they're waiting in the wings to take on whoever wins the game this morning, and they'll be playing a little later on today. Is that our phone? I think our phone's ringing. But yeah, they'll be taking them on later on today. We've got a playoff football going down this Friday and Saturday as your Roswell Coyotes are gearing up to play Gadsden. That game going down Saturday at 1 p.m., pregame at 12:45. The Goddard Rockets going to be kicking off your playoff football weekend as they play Deming at the Wool Bowl. That game with a pregame at 5:45 and a kickoff at 6 o'clock. And then again, your Roswell Coyotes taking the field at the Wool Bowl, taking on Gadsden on Saturday, pregame 12:45, kickoff at 1. You can catch both those games over at ksvptv.com. You can also catch them on our stations for the Goddard game, 106.1 Fiero FM, and for your Roswell Coyotes right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. For you Bulldog fans, they're going to be taking on the Valley Vikings Saturday at 1 p.m. with the pregame at 12:30. You can hear that game on our sister station, AM 990 and 93.7 FM KSVP. And, of course, you can watch that game at the Artesia Bulldogs channel over on ksvptv.com. This is probably the last of the playoff games that we're going to get to show video for due to rights issues. But fear not, dry them eyes, rainy faces. We'll still have radio coverage of those games leading up to the final game of the season, the championship. It's all going down. We'll have it for you right here. 9 minutes after 8 o'clock, let's pause and get you up to date with the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Cooler temperatures on the way over the next few days following a cold front that's moving through our area. We'll be in the mid-60s on the afternoon high today, and it should be sunny, clear for the overnight hours, and we're looking at lows near 40, and then even cooler on Friday. It'll be a sunny day with our afternoon high in the low 50s. We'll stay in the mid-50s Saturday, low 60s Sunday, and sunny. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently, did not refresh my weather here. Currently looking at 54 degrees, humidity at 42%, winds out of the north at 15 miles an hour with a barometer at 29.97 and a dew point of 31 degrees. Going to be looking at sunny skies with 69 degrees for the high on for the rest of today. Winds out of the north 5 to 10 miles an hour, becoming southeast later in the afternoon. Tonight, mostly clear, dropping down to 37. Winds out of the northeast 5 to 10. Those becoming north after midnight. For your Veterans Day, it's going to be chilly. Grab yourself a coat. Sunny skies, but only 54 for the high. North winds 10 to 15 miles an hour. Mostly clear, getting down to about 27 for the overnight low on Friday night. Winds out of the northeast at around 5 miles an hour. Then for your Saturday, mostly sunny. 54 for the high. Winds out of the south 5 to 15. Saturday night, 33 for the overnight low with clear skies. Sunny and 63 on Sunday. Not warming up a whole lot from there. 53 for the high on Monday. Back only 48 degrees for the high on Tuesday. And then we got a chance for some precipitation moving into our area come middle of next week. 11 minutes after 8 o'clock. Actually, let me go ahead and do this real quick. I want to remind you, coming up this Saturday, you're invited to the annual Veterans Day Parade and Celebration. It's going down this Saturday beginning at 9 a.m. on the Chavez County Courthouse lawn, featuring guest speaker Sean Nicholson, as well as music from Matt Miller and Tom Blake, and then the laying of the wreaths by the Cub Scouts. Now, the parade begins at 10 a.m. It's going to move north from the courthouse to the Wool Bowl. You can enjoy special displays and food vendors after the parade at the Wool Bowl parking lot. Now, if you want to be a part of the event, contact Stephen Lee from the American Legion at 720-272-1455. 720-272-1455. Come on out and join us this coming Saturday, 9 a.m. on the Chavez County Courthouse lawn. It's all going down for the Veterans Parade and Celebration, sponsored by our buds at Roswell Ford. 12 minutes after 8 o'clock, I'm going to pause, pay a couple of these bills. It's been nice that these breaks haven't been loaded down with a bunch of political ads. just saying it's been peaceful.
It's over.
Our long national nightmare is finally over for like another year and a half, and then it starts back again. So.
I just want to say during the weather, 69.
Yeah.
That's all I wanted to say.
It's nice. You know, I officially knew I grew up when I could say that temperature without giggling. I just say it's nice out. 69. 12 minutes, now 13 minutes after 8 o'clock. Going to pause, pay a couple of these bills, and after these, we'll replay that interview with Sheriff Mike Harrington and the Travis County Health Council coming up on A Morning Without Mike Winters. Stay tuned. Fall is here, but it's not too late to get to Graves Farm and Garden and stock up on green chili in mild, medium, or hot, as well as dried red chili, perfect for Thanksgiving and seasonal recipes. Plus, firewood by the cord, delivered and stacked. Now's the time to stock up on hay bales with Sudan and alfalfa in both small and large bales. And the Graves Farm store is open Monday through Saturday, 8:30 to 5:30, and Sundays 1 to 5. 7.5 miles south of Roswell on the Old Dexter Highway. Graves Farm and Garden, where locally owned means locally grown.
Here in Roswell, we work hard for our money. That's why it's important to spend our money wisely. Hi, this is Melanie from Glenn's Furniture. When I walk through our store, I'm really impressed with the furniture we sell. It's so beautiful and so comfortable you could just feel the quality. This is furniture you'll be proud of for years to come. Furniture that your family will enjoy every day. Furniture that will last and last. Get the most from your hard-earned money. Come see us at Glenn's Furniture, where delivery is free since 1953.
Have you noticed the days are getting shorter? This is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. I know it's kind of hard to tell, but we're on the downhill side of the year, so every day is a couple of minutes shorter than the one before, even though your plants need plenty of food and water to keep them healthy. Like those globe willows that are turning yellow. A good dose of the right fertilizer will make them bright green again. No matter what the problems you're having, we probably have a cure at Roswell Seed Company. But come see us soon, because winter's coming, you know.
Hi, I'm Dr. Keon at Carabelli Dental. Same-day smiles are what we do. My passion is helping patients chew, talk, and live with confidence. That's why I'm one of the few doctors in the U.S. who can create beautiful same-day smiles with the latest digital implant technology. This procedure is life-changing. Just ask Sean.
Hi, I'm Sean. I've been that voice that you've heard on the radio for most of my life, but I'm also a dad to two amazing kids. I've had a million reasons to smile, but in all my old pictures, I was never smiling. Truth is that life of improper care and being dealt a bad hand genetically left me practically with no teeth. It affected everything from the way I ate, the way I talked, and of course how I interacted with people. And that's where Dr. Keon and Carabelli stepped in. They eased my fears. They explained every step of the process in a way that I could understand, and they made me feel almost like I was part of the team. And now, I can't stop smiling. I have so much more confidence, and I love looking in the mirror now. I can't explain how much of a difference Dr. Keon's dental implant process made for me.
Our team can help you find your smile too. Come see us at Carabelli Dental, 575-622-4455.
Fall is here, but it's not too late to get to Graves Farm and Garden and stock up on green chili in mild, medium, or hot, as well as dried red chili, perfect for Thanksgiving and seasonal recipes. Plus, firewood by the cord, delivered and stacked. Now's the time to stock up on hay bales with Sudan and alfalfa in both small and large bales. And the Graves Farm store is open Monday through Saturday, 8:30 to 5:30, and Sundays 1 to 5. 7.5 miles south of Roswell on the Old Dexter Highway. Graves Farm and Garden, where locally owned means locally grown.
How often do you think your way is the best way? Every time, right? How often do you find out that your way isn't the best way, but you keep trying to make it right even when you know it isn't? More than we would like to admit, don't you agree? In Proverbs 3, Solomon says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your paths straight." Have you been relying on your own wisdom to live your life, but things just don't seem to be going very well? Are you lacking peace and contentment in your life? Maybe it's time to look to the Lord's wisdom to guide your life instead of your own. I'm not saying your life will be perfect when you follow Jesus, but you can find peace and contentment no matter what the circumstance. He leads you in the right way when you follow him every time. And even when life is hard, he will give you the strength and love to make it through.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Men are 6 times more likely to be struck by lightning than women. That's because men are 6 times more likely to wear a tinfoil hat in a thunderstorm. Here's Mike Winters.
And joining us in studio this morning from the Travis County Health Council, Diane Taylor back with us. And the sheriff, Mike Harrington, also joining us as well. Good morning, guys.
Good
How's
morning.
everybody doing today?
Good morning.
Doing fantastic.
Happy Election Day. And,
yes.
Did you early vote, Sheriff? Because I imagine your day gets kind of busy. You going to have time to go hit the polls here today?
And I saved it because I want to be there actually on voting day.
Okay.
So I put it out there yesterday that go vote. I'll be out there at about 10:30. That's when I'm going to go. And it is to me very important to be there on Election Day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I just want to make sure that everybody gets out there and take everybody because this is an important. Very important election.
Absolutely.
Across the board.
Polls are open till 7.
Yes.
I read the list earlier. I'll read it one more time here
Yes.
later on. But there's like 12 different places throughout Chavez County that you can vote at any one of them. Don't
That's right.
forget. So if you were working here but live in Lake Arthur or vice versa, you can vote in Lake Arthur or Hagerman, here in Roswell, wherever. It doesn't matter. Dexter, it doesn't matter. So.
We have voting centers.
Yes, the convenience centers. They're very nice.
So
They're convenient.
everything you've been screaming about, now's the time to make the difference and go vote.
Absolutely.
So this is where you get a say.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah,
that's
this
a
is
good thing.
All you people yelling and screaming on social media and Facebook and what have you, that's fun, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's not doing anything. So this is doing
the
something.
time.
So go vote.
Good. Yes.
So since I know we talked to the Health Council a couple weeks ago here, but since then I know you guys, we were focusing more on a mental health organization. They're kind of getting off the ground. They got a big event planned at the Wool Bowl.
Yes.
I think later, is it next year or later next year? I think
Next year.
Yeah, February
Next year.
time frame. Yeah. But the Health Council's got a lot more going on than that right now. The 211's a big thing. We want to always keep reminding people as a resource and always looking for more people to kind of roll up their sleeves and serve on the Health Council, right?
Yes, we're working collaboration, and that's a very important issue.
Mm-hmm.
It coming together with different agencies. I am the prevention specialist with the Chavez County DWI and DUI.
That's kind of your day job.
That's my day job,
Yeah.
but it fits very well in, and we work in partnership with the Health Council because part of it is developing healthy brains and bodies. And today we're facing, have you ever heard of powdered alcohol?
Powdered alcohol?
Powdered alcohol. Here's
Like Kool-Aid, like you mix with water?
Yes,
Holy
but
cow.
and it was legalized in New Mexico about 4 or 5 years ago, and it's popular.
Okay.
It's easy to hide, disguise.
Sure,
bring
yeah, it looks like
into
a fruit
school.
punch or
right.
Yeah.
And ingest.
And once you put liquid water into it, it kind of dilutes it, but it's more has more strength if you just use it as a powder.
Oh, I got you. So they're probably snorting it or Lord knows what else they're doing to it.
Vaping
Yeah.
alcohol.
Okay, yeah, okay.
And we're also very much dealing with vaping. Vaping amongst teens is just out of sight.
Mm-hmm.
The average age teens begin to vape is 11 years old.
Wow, that is young.
Yes.
Well, and it's been made to look cool, though.
Right.
So that's been one of the biggest issues that I've seen is they'll say, oh, it is nothing but a juice, like a fruit juice or whatever. But see, when they see these other people blowing out these big old puffs of supposedly smoke or mist or whatever it is.
Well, I mean, it's too easy to lace that with marijuana or just nicotine.
Oh, yes. But it's been made to look cool.
Yeah.
And what we're trying to explain to them, and one thing that Diane has a lot of material on, is it's not what it does to you right now. It's what it does to your body over a period of time. And it is a very dangerous way of, I know a lot of people who are trying to quit smoking. That says, oh, I'm now vaping. Well, I thank you for not smoking for the second
Sure,
hand smoke.
There's not the second-hand issue on the vaping, unless you don't like cherry or
but what it does
boysenberry
is,
or whatever flavor they're using.
What it does is it puts a poison into you that is not good, and so
and it's especially worse. I mean, adults, you know the risk, you understand them.
Yeah.
But it's so much worse for teenagers and younger kids because your body is still developing.
Right.
Not only that,
mentally and physically, and it can mess that up.
Not only that, but vaping has to have heat, and the heat people don't realize in all vapes, I don't care what it is, nicotine, THC, synthetic drugs, has heat. And when you vape, it's like cooking on a stove, and you're frying something, and the splatter, the grease goes, all the little bubbles. Well, you're ingesting that, and that's what popcorn lung is.
Okay.
Is when you ingest
blisters.
the oil, the cooking oil, it leaves all these like little bubbles on your lungs, and you can't clean it off like you do a stove.
Sure.
So what you have now to start with is popcorn lung.
Okay.
And you add the synthetics. You have the natural THC. Marijuana has been legalized. Prohibition on that's over, no matter what your stand is on it. It's legal.
Sure.
What we have now to deal with, where the kids are involved, they're dealing more with the synthetics, and it's a chemical.
And that's way more dangerous than your natural.
Right. And then we have
whatever,
fentanyl. We have little education on these topics. We have a very serious problem in all schools, especially middle schools and high schools. The school districts are begging to have people come in. I have this man come in. His name is Chad Curry. He works out of University Hospital in Lubbock.
Okay.
He's a chief EMS, and he's coming in. I had him to all high schools in the county. It was so phenomenal. They're begging for him to come back. His approach isn't legal. It is purely what is happening to your developing brain and body.
It's like, hey, this showing you the risks, the things. This is
The
why
deadly
everyone's
risk.
telling you it's bad to do this. And I understand teenagers are teenagers. No one can tell a teenager, especially parents.
Well-
They just you're at an age where you know it all, and no one can tell you different. And that's why you need something to say, look, see, this is what we're saying. I know it seems fine now, and as a teenager, you're indestructible, and you don't think about,
the future,
the consequences
even
of things.
tomorrow,
And unfortunately, that's why it's so tragic, is because, you've got your whole life ahead of you, but you're going to ruin it by doing something like this. And that's, once you're an adult and you're developed and you make decisions, I don't recommend, but that's on you.
Yeah.
But it's so vital when you're still mentally and physically developing to not intrude into that anyway, or contribute anything that's going to hurt that, because that's going to lead to not even just the popcorn lung, that kind of stuff. Just how much mental development and stuff is getting stunted because of you using cannabis or something else. Yeah,
so,
exactly.
That's one of the things that, and as you know, I am the chairman of the DWI committee. And one of the things that we have seen an increase in is marijuana use by youngsters.
Well, it's a lot more available, so it makes sense.
But in the vape, in regular marijuana, and one of the things is edibles. Edibles.
Yeah.
And one of the things that they say every time is it's legal. Well, what we're trying to tell you is, just like alcohol, it's legal for someone who's 21 years of age and older, because what we're hoping, and we probably sadly mistaken, is that when you reach 21, you understand the risks, and your brain is still not developed till they say like 27 years of age.
You're not ready to roll.
You're not ready to go then. But what we know is that we're hoping that you have the ability to make good decisions.
Sure.
Whereas a youngster under the age of 21, and that's why we take people into the military at the age of 18, because we want you to not be thinking about what's on that hill. Whenever I say, let's take that hill, you're going to run to that hill, even if people are shooting back at you, because you don't believe bad things can happen to you.
Yeah.
And that is one of the,
you're
indestructible.
Yeah.
And so what's happening with these vapes is you're getting these young kids who are doing things that are going to seriously cause them issues for the rest of their life.
Sure.
And they just don't know it. And that's what Diane is we're very thankful for her, because she does go out there into the schools, and you're trying to teach this. But it is a very difficult thing to do, to teach somebody bad things are going to happen because they don't believe it's going to happen.
Well,
to them.
and as Diane mentioned earlier, yes, the vaping and all that, but the fentanyl side, and unfortunately with that one, bad. Because kids are kids, humans are humans. You experiment, you try something, you had a party, you try some marijuana.
Yep.
At the end of the day, it's not,
No.
that doesn't have a lasting impression with this fentanyl.
You could be dead.
It's here.
Yeah,
You're
you're
dead.
dead the first time you try it, and you may not even know you had it because they're lacing it in heroin, cocaine, and you've got pretty much anything now.
That's
and
the key
they're in
point.
Drops or a powder.
Yeah.
And we have it right here in Roswell.
Oh, yeah.
And right here in our school.
No, I'm sure your officers see it every single day on the streets. Yeah.
And some of the one of the worst things about the fentanyl is exactly what you just said. A lot of people may buy marijuana, not from a dispensary, but from off the street.
And you don't know what you're getting.
And you don't know what you're getting, and that one that is laced with fentanyl, and it will kill you.
Mm-hmm.
And we see
it's so
that
scary.
It is very scary. And
unfortunately, you do not get a second chance with the fentanyl. We talk about the marijuana and drug, and surely we don't want you to go down those paths, but at least with that, there's a chance for redemption or a chance to kind of turn it around.
Right.
Fentanyl, if you have one bad trip or bad whatever,
you're done.
It's curtains. It's done. You're dead or if not dead,
worse.
Basically mentally incapacitated the rest of your life.
And we have a new synthetic fentanyl, and fentanyl now it used to be blue, kind of blue. Now it's multicolor. It comes
Skittles.
So it looks appealing, like like lifesavers.
So that's why they call it the Skittle Party, right?
Okay.
Because it's different colors. You can't tell. Used to, we know if you had fentanyl because they were little blue pills and looking like oxycodone, right?
Gotcha. Okay.
And now you just don't know, and that's the scariest part about fentanyl or anything that you're taking now, because it's supposed to be the bump to any drug you take, methamphetamine, whatever. It gives you a longer high. I guess.
Unfortunately, it's a permanent.
It's a permanent deal.
deal.
And I pray to God that we just don't find young kids dead because of
and
this,
that's what the scary part is. You don't even have to take it to be effective. I mean, this is
you can just touch it.
Like his officers, like the sheriff's deputies and things. They constantly on guard for when they come in contact with people that possibly could be having possession or on fentanyl. All it takes is for them to search one pocket and come in contact with it, and now their life's in danger.
Well,
it's that
Narcan.
serious.
We would use Narcan for someone who overdosed on heroin.
Can't do it.
And you
doesn't work with the fentanyl, huh?
It takes up to 6-7 of the Narcans to do anything if you're lucky.
Do you guys even have usually 7 of them on hand to do? Yeah.
And you're just usually saving those for the officers.
Yeah.
Because that could be a bad thing. So.
Yeah, it's so serious out there, and kids are so daring. They don't know what they're buying.
Sure.
And the average, we just did a big survey after doing some programs, no names, nothing. And the goal we wanted, where are you contacting your buyers? Snapchat.
That seems to be the most common place that people are finding their connections for drugs.
Snapchat, and they'll meet them at the schools. They'll meet them anywhere.
Interesting.
And my question after this past 6 months, where are the kids getting the money for this?
Right?
I mean,
stealing.
We're giving free lunch, but they can go to school and go on Snapchat and buy whatever
Well, yeah,
they want.
you see a lot. That's why copper is so valuable, and catalytic converters and all the things because someone will buy those nefariously. Yeah. And that's just it. That's part of everything, And I know when the sheriff comes on his own here, that's a lot of time we talk about, him visiting the quote the merchants that buy these things and cracking down on that side of it, making it much harder for them to get money for these things. And so there's all different angles at which you try to stop it. And to be honest, at the end of the day, the only way we can truly stop it is parents and people educating and getting that information and telling them the dangers of all this stuff. This isn't like when you were a kid and you tried pot for the first time and got sick and puked in the tree in the backyard. This is a different scenario than what we're talking about.
Different.
A lot of this stuff, though, that comes in is they get it from their parents.
Yeah.
So what
I
we're
get that.
seeing is that because it's like anything, all of a sudden they legalize marijuana. Everyone wants to try marijuana. So now instead of having it hid somewhere so that no one finds it, it's sitting on your dresser.
Sure.
Well, now your kids come in, just like if you have a bunch of pills in your medicine cabinet.
Absolutely.
They're going to come in, they're going to try it. They're going to,
Yeah.
it's where they pour all the different pills into a
the pill
bowl.
parties.
Yeah, the pill parties, and they just eat whatever.
Skittle party.
Yeah.
And I can tell you this, whenever I started my blood pressure medicine, if you're not used to blood pressure medicine, it will send you into a craziness, right?
You lose your ability to tolerate heat. That's one thing I've noticed because I'm on blood pressure meds too, and I don't do well enough.
So how they eat them by the handfuls, I have no
I'm
idea.
kind of like, you want that?
Yeah,
Why would you want this?
Why would you want that?
I don't want this.
But that's what we're
But they
seeing
think they're
more
gonna get a
of
buzz, yeah.
is the availability of all of this has become more accessible to the kids because it's now legal. And the problem is, for me specifically, is rather than buying it from your local dispenser or whatever, the drug dealers have been empowered because now you don't have to carry a big old bag full. You just carry enough for personal use. And if you get stopped, marijuana is personal use. Yeah. So,
but there's no penalty
there's
either.
No penalties.
No.
None.
And this is something, there's a dispensary who's really come forward. I have the PVC, Pecos Valley Production, where they said, hey, we want to be part of education. We want to be part of this. But
being responsible business owners. That's
right,
kind of a nice
but
thing when you have that.
education, because we don't want to be associated with the street drug either.
Sure. Yeah, they don't want that bringing their reputation down.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
But what we have to really address is we have no legislation or penalties or education. All the money that is taken in from the taxes for this, not one penny comes back for education, treatment, law enforcement.
Or it's the different with alcohol and all that.
Exactly.
That's and that's something our legislators are probably going to have to, now they made it legal. All right, now we got it, which was part of, I think, a lot of people's issues the first time. It's like, wonderful, you're making it legal, but what's the game plan? How are we going to? And they made it legal and basically said, all right, we're going to leave it up to all the municipalities to figure it out.
Yeah.
And then
which is crazy,
and that's not a good way to do this.
But
municipalities can't even figure it out.
Exactly.
But Colorado has already invented the wheel. They have already got it laid out of what the penalties are.
Gotcha.
Why we just don't come in and adopt that? It rather than trying to sit back.
If it's
and
not
try
broke,
to,
yeah.
But I mean, these other places have already got it and seen the problems that it had before they enacted penalties.
Sure.
And now they've enacted these penalties. Why we didn't go in and say, hey, is that working for you? Let's
do some research
just
here.
adopt that rather than trying to, rather than waiting.
Yeah.
Because right now it's the waiting game to see how is this really going to affect us? How's this going to affect our kids? How's this going to? I'm just telling you right now. We put the cart before the horse and legalize marijuana without having all the preventions in place.
Yeah.
And we as law enforcement are really behind the curve. But more importantly, we're losing young kids to these things.
Yeah.
Either they stay living and have no desire to do anything, or they're dying.
Yeah, and it's sad.
We've got to
very
do something.
sad.
Yeah, right here in Roswell, we have kids taken right from a school to a hospital because they're so sophisticated anymore. Like a little iWatch, that's your vape pen.
Yeah. Wow. It's like secret agent drugging.
Right. But they're so small, and you don't have the odor, and you don't have that puff
So
anymore.
you don't know, It's
so
not
they're
like
doing it right in
at least with
class.
alcohol, you can smell it on them or something. Yeah, you know. Yeah.
You have an ink pen where they make their own vape pens. I had, DWI. I have my little DWI ink pens that we give out. One was picked up that a kid turned into a vape pen.
Wow.
But they're very sophisticated with how they make them, and they're very small.
I've joked with the sheriff about this. I was like, we need to take the ingenuity that comes out of jail, which is kind of the same technology here, and put it to good use. Because, I mean, you know, they come up, like, if we could turn some, because it's quite ingenuitive way they come up with some of this stuff. It's like, man, if you could turn that into, you know, something that's going to fix the world instead of inhale drugs into your body, I agree. How great would that be?
Yeah, the sweatshirts, you know, they have, like, the strings on them. Do you know they're vape pens now?
They can make that into a vape pen, too?
The little cords.
The technology.
I'm feeling old today.
So you just don't know.
Yeah.
But when they can do it right in a classroom.
Yeah, and not get caught.
In front of a teacher, not get caught. Yeah. And that's to the degree we're at. And the sophistication, as you very well put it, and ingenuity. Well, and then they get an F in the class. Can't they use some of that brain power?
The brain's there. It's just you got to focus that direction on it, and that's the age-old question: how do we get kids to do that? But I can tell you this: it's going to take an active role by the parents and guardians.
Yes,
the people, you know, law enforcement, the county, the city. They can enact and encourage and create all kinds of programs and create all kinds of avenues for you to help. But at the end of the day, if it's got to be up to the parents and the families to sit down and because you're the ones that see these kids day in and day out. You're the ones that know when things aren't right, when things don't seem normal with your child. You're the one who has to be that observant one that says, they're acting different. I wonder what's going on. Is it something in school or is it something, you know, else? Are they getting involved in something they shouldn't be? And that's parents. You got to be parents on this one. That for the sake of your kids, you have to be parents.
And remember, this is business.
Yeah,
these entities are in to make a profit. Alcohol sales, when they went down, other sales went up. So what now you have, and I'd like you to Google alcohol and marijuana and see how they're blending them now, and the different soft drinks. It's legal. It's edible.
I knew they were doing some of that, and
it's very.
And they're both depressants.
Yeah.
So now you have an alcohol, a drink that is infused with marijuana.
Yeah.
Both of them being depressants.
And they probably, if they're having a bad day and they drink a beer and smoke a joint to kind of, or have this whatever concoction.
You can drink the beer with the marijuana.
They have it infused in there.
Yeah.
So now you're going to have. And you're not going to have. We are already having suicides are really out of control.
Well, mental health is a huge issue.
Mental health is
drugs
an issue.
Aside, it's a contributing factor, but that's already a problem anyway.
Well, that's exactly right. And
just look at the world we've been through, and depression and isolation. All of that has conjured up, and then we make marijuana legal in the middle of all this. Well, and people are like, I'm just going to get baked tonight or whatever it is, and it's different, and let's face it, that marijuana, it makes you think. Things
that racing through your mind,
things that weren't good ideas sober start becoming good ideas under the influence. And then unfortunately that suicide. I mean,
it's like alcohol.
Yeah.
It's the same effects on the brain.
Yeah.
I mean, why do you at a young age need to go and get drunk? Or get high? What is
it's the thing to do?
Yeah,
that's what it is.
It may seem cool at the minute, but there's so many people that have made a mistake that they don't get to come back from because of those things.
It's permanent.
And unfortunately, there's been a bunch of people that have had the mistake, got away with it, and they think that they can do it again. And it's Russian roulette. It's someday that's going to catch up with. They may spin the chamber and not come up with a bullet 5, 6, 7 times, but one of those times it's going to be a bullet in there, and you're going to pay the price. So that's the unfortunate thing is if someone gets away with it once, and succeeds, and they think they can do it again, and it's like you're just
the chances
shortening that fuse real quick.
It's like
my life.
My DWI pictures that I put on the Facebook page, right? Travis County Sheriff's Facebook page. Those individuals, this isn't the first time they drove drunk. This is the
first time they got caught.
This is the first time they got caught.
Yeah.
And so one of the things that we know is they're like, you know what? I've done this 1,000 times, and I don't know why you're saying I'm drunk. I don't know why you're saying I'm impaired. But to them, because they did it once, they continue to do it, and then you're going to get caught. And when you get caught, then it's an eye-opening experience because you've been arrested. But we see it doesn't stop those, because they've already been doing it, from doing it again.
Right.
So you'll see, and just like they put on my Facebook page, this looks like some of the same people you've arrested before.
It's like, well, because it is.
It is.
There's the frequent
And
flyers.
of all ages.
Yeah, of all ages.
And I would argue that some of those people are probably dealing with other issues other than alcohol.
Oh, yeah.
It's things in their life. I mean, this is, and I'm not trying to, promote one over, but like anytime you have your faith-based treatment programs, whether it's Celebrate Recovery or Alcoholics, whatever it is, there's a lot of great organizations.
Yeah.
I find that the faith-based ones have better success rates because they're doing more than just getting you off the substance. Right. Yeah. You can go to a regular rehab and they may get you off the physical addiction of drug or alcohol, but it doesn't fill the void that you were trying to fill in the first place by drinking. There's something, that void in your life, and the faith-based, a lot of them give that path for some people.
Your faith-based programs are the very best and most successful programs. And exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
It gives you hope, it gives you a place to go, and it builds up your own confidence, your own person.
And they don't care if your benefits run out on your insurance.
This is true.
Yeah.
That's a very valid point.
It is a very valid point.
It's like I'm sober as long as my insurance is paying for it.
That's exactly right. So when you go into a residential treatment facility and your insurance says we're going to keep you here for this many days, but that day it doesn't matter how you are, you're out.
Right.
Where, like you say, the faith-based ones, they keep you there, and not only do they keep you there, but they check on you.
But and they also try to keep you from going back to the circles you were.
That's right.
Before when you were having your problems.
Yeah.
Because that's half the battle.
Faith-based has the fewest relapse.
Because they're giving purpose to people.
They give them purpose.
And when people have a purpose, they're going to want to do things.
I agree.
Yeah.
So that's it.
So please understand the risks here, and this is something. Please utilize the Chavez County Health Council has a lot of resources.
Yes.
If you're a parent or any person really that's looking for information, if you're thinking, hey, I want to learn more about how to understand the signs with my kids, reach out to the Chavez County Health Council. I would say just call 211. 211 is the easiest, best way. Now, if you got an emergency, call 911.
Absolutely.
But if you just want to find a healthcare professional in the community, or you want a link to resources on anything, if you questions, even New Mexico Health Department questions, call 211. If it's something they handle, they'll tell you. Just go to the office, ask for this. They'll do this and do.
Yep.
But if you want more information on hey, my kid, I'm acting funny. They don't seem normal.
Yeah.
Just what's the signs? What am I looking for?
Take action.
And law enforcement too. He's not here. They don't. They're very much embracing it. Also, they don't want to just arrest. They want to help.
Absolutely.
They want to be part of solving the solution.
They're tired of seeing the same people every day too.
Every day.
They would love to see those people another day, and they're not drunk.
I'd
they're
rather
not
see
high.
you at a community event.
Yeah.
Than taking you to jail, and that's one of the you hit it right on the head. It is the same people doing the same thing over and over because the justice system has failed, and also I believe because of insurance reasons and other reasons, the treatment has failed.
Yes.
And one of the things is, and I will tell you, we have some great facilities here to deal with the mentally ill. But you can't force the mentally ill individuals to go to that facility.
They're not going to be receptive. They're not.
I would like to see more mobile mental health groups like you see in some of the bigger cities that actually go out
to the homeless
camps and to these areas and walk up to them. But there's always the risk that when you enter their territory, and they're not wanting the help, that you can get injured, and that's we've seen that as an increase. So
because their mental health, a lot of people are dealing with mental health issues,
deal with
and
mental health.
They don't see you as a help. They see you as a hurt, and they're
really
going to
do.
treat you as such.
They really do.
Yeah,
yes.
It is a slippery slope, but
it is. But
that's why we love our volunteers that do these kind of things.
If you have,
so amazing.
If you have that desire and that true dedication to making a difference, you're going to go do it. Yeah. And I will tell you that once you go out there, and I'm able to do this myself, is a lot of the people who already know you and know where you stand, when you do approach them, they know why you're there. I'm not there to take you to jail. I'm not there to do this or that.
There to check on.
I'm just there to check on you, make sure you're okay.
And he's there not only to check. I have to really compliment the sheriff on his willingness to be out there to help educate, sends his deputies. And
I've seen it firsthand,
Yes, to connect with the community. I'm not the bad guy. I'm not here, to arrest you.
They're literally solving problems.
That's
what
right.
they're doing.
Right.
That's right.
And reaching out to the community, how do we communicate better? How do we solve the problem in your neighborhood?
Sure.
There is no difference in a zip code, last name.
That's right.
We're all in the same boat.
Yeah.
And I really would
we
like to
all have someone in the
compliment.
family who's got those issues.
Absolutely.
So,
And every officer, whether they're New Mexico State Police or
Everybody.
Chaves County Sheriff or Roswell Police Department or whatever agencies I've missed there, they all have that goal of wanting to help and making sure people
And
are
put their
safe
life
and
on the
secure.
line.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that goes for just first responders in general.
Yeah.
We have a very dedicated group of first responders that were born and raised here. So this isn't somebody you're coming into and dealing with strangers. You're dealing with people who you know.
Yeah, they know the
so
neighborhoods.
You do care.
They know
You
the
do
people.
care about them.
This is their homes too.
Right.
Yeah.
And you care about them. And it's a sad thing to see somebody who had some self-worth and not worth anything really. I'm not saying by anybody else, but had some self-worth to all of a sudden be at a point in their life where they are almost to the point of wanting to kill themselves.
Yeah.
And you're just like, man, what happened? And you want to come in and you want to help that.
Sure.
And jail is not always the answer. Now, when you do something that's crazy and you got to go to jail, that's one option. But really and truly, we do want to help you.
Absolutely.
I've seen it more so than anything, and I'm on a first name basis with a lot of them. And
our judges see that too.
Yeah,
And
all the
they
judges
generally,
see that.
it doesn't matter what court it is, they see.
But
and they know when to punish versus when they say, you know what, we need to kind of remind them why they're here and what we need to do.
And until our legislation changes things and actually does some stuff to where instead of saying you can't be tried for this crime, we're going to let you out, we need to have a place we can put you to help you get stable.
Yeah.
And, however that's going to be, but we just need some help from our legislators.
Sure. Makes
Even
sense.
our outlining communities, you have Dexter, Lake Arthur, Hagerman, who seem like they're out there. They're out there. They're law enforcement also, and they're
Doing
first
great.
responders.
They're great, close-knit communities.
Yes,
Yeah.
but they have the same problems. They're out there working to do the same thing.
Absolutely.
And it takes a team. The health council, law enforcement, all the community agencies want to work together. That's
Absolutely.
our goal. And that was one of the foundations
Absolutely.
of Chaves County Health Council, coming together as a team. And not just locally, but we need to make ourselves known and have a voice in Santa Fe.
Absolutely.
As we speak now, we really have nothing we can do to arrest these. A misdemeanor is what you get for marijuana use, and a $50 fine the most. So I get more in a speeding ticket.
Right. That's not much of an incentive not to do it again. That makes
But
sense.
I thank you and 106.5 to bring all these forward, to give a platform that we
Well,
can
thank you.
address and speak. You're an important part of the community. You're
Well,
an
thank you.
important part of the awareness and education.
Tell my mom.
Yeah.
Your mom did a good job. You just have the wrong team there,
I
though.
know. Well, I was born in the wrong spot, dang it, and they got it stuck in my brain, and I can't get out. I was like, this this team's awful, and I wish I didn't like them, but I love them, and I can't help it. So.
And you're loyal to them.
I am.
You have to be.
Gosh, I am. I don't know why I am.
You have to be after all the changes in the names and everything else.
Absolutely.
It's been crazy. But
I am.
I wanted to bring up the Veterans Day Parade.
Yes.
Yes, this Saturday.
We are at the sheriff's office. Are going to be doing the escort for that. We're going to be doing a rolling escort.
Mm-hmm.
So we want people to get out there. We want them to be supportive and understand that we're not going to be shutting down intersections.
Yes.
But as we roll through those intersections, we will close them down. So it's going to be a continuous deal. But this is going to also help where the veterans don't get charged a fee for having the Veterans Day Parade by the city.
Yeah, there's a lot of behind the scenes
So
on
yes,
that one,
and so but I will
And
tell
that's
you
pathetic that
Yeah.
even think of charging them. a fee.
yes, it is. And so the sheriff's office will be out there. We will be closing down intersections as they go through that. But I want this community to get out there and support our veterans.
9 a.m.
And 9 a.m.
Chavis County Courthouse lawn.
Yep. And I'm
I'll
telling
be
you,
emceeing, by the way.
we need your support, and the people who have given everything need to be recognized during this. And I'm telling you, it's not just those who've passed away. There are some that have come home from these wars, and they really need to know we support them.
Absolutely.
And so
I would imagine
I
your
want 'em-
sheriff's deputies
Yep.
are to deal with a few veterans
Absolutely.
that are dealing with some issues
Yep.
and things like
and,
that.
And I'm a veteran of the Air Force, and I will tell you, there is no more pride in me than to say that I served this country.
I agree with that.
You know,
Same way.
and I have so much respect for them, and I'm going to do everything I can to make sure this community knows we have heroes here.
Well, we appreciate that.
So
we appreciate
it's
you
important.
guys. So come on out Saturday, 9 a.m.
Yep.
And like I said, we'll have about a 30, 40-minute presentation there on the courthouse lawn, and then the parade will roll north towards the Wool Bowl, and then hang out to the Wool Bowl. We're going to have a little tailgate. We'll call it a pre-playoff tailgate party. Because they're going to kick us out because there's a game at 1 at the Wool Bowl there.
Right.
So we got to about noon or so to come in, and I think the guard's going to have a few things out there. We're going to have other people setting up booths and things. So
Thank
come out
you
and
for
join
letting us put that out there.
Well, thank you guys, and
Thank you.
Thank you, and of course, reach out. The Chavis County Health Council has a Facebook page. Like and follow that if you want to. Any questions? 211. That's their number for you to
Emergency.
call for anything health related. However, if it is a medical emergency, don't use that. Use 911. But if you got resources, questions, suspecting your kids maybe getting into things and looking for resources to help, 211 is your source there.
And go vote.
Go vote. Yes.
Go vote.
Early
Very
and often.
important.
Just kidding.
Yes. So
We need to vote.
That's right.
Today is the actual voting day. Your vote is so important.
Absolutely.
Get out there and let's vote, and let's make a difference.
Otherwise, you have no right to complain on Facebook.
That's right.
So,
That's right. Well,
thank you guys.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Thank you so much.
We'll see you Friday, Sheriff.
Yes.
You're back on Friday.
Yep,
at
I'll
8
be
o'clock
here.
hour. Cool.
This Friday or next Friday?
I think it's this Friday. Let me confirm.
Because
here, but,
make sure, because I think I'm the next Friday.
Okay,
Just
let me look here.
Yep.
And
While you get this done.
quick news. We'll be back.
Twitter cannot simply be some extension of me, because then anyone who doesn't agree with me will be put off. So Twitter must be, as a platform, as neutral as possible.
Twitter began adding labels to some prominent accounts to indicate they are authentic. A few hours later, the labels started disappearing. Musk also wants to charge $8 a month for a blue check confirming a Twitter account's authenticity. I'm Ed Donahue.
On Wall Street yesterday, the Dow dropped 2%, the Nasdaq off more than 2%. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Andrew Stewart.
Jennifer from Trustmark Roofing here, and I can tell you it's not always easy being a female in a male-dominated business like roofing. I remember one time I was at a meeting to bid on the roof for a local college, and it was me and 13 men. Well, I won that bid, and I'd like to win your business too. My dad was a contractor, and I've been around building and roofing my whole life. I'm licensed and bonded, and I've forgotten more about roofing than most roofers ever knew in the first place. But what really sets Trustmark apart is an obsessive attention to detail that ensures that everything goes smoothly the first time. I promise we will treat you right with respect, and we will make you happy. So yeah, it might be a bit odd for a woman to own a roofing company, but give us a try. Let us give you an estimate for your roof. I think you'll be glad you called. For all your roofing needs, call us at 575-755-ROOF or find us online at trustmarkroofpros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
Hi, my name is Claude Childs, Service Director here at Roswell Ford. We understand that when your vehicle needs service, you have a lot of options, and sometimes it's hard to know who to trust. That's where I come in. My mission and the mission for the service department here at Roswell Ford is the best customer service experience and ensuring your absolute satisfaction. We have a brand new service team of master certified technicians to ensure that things are done right. Our goal is to make sure that every customer drives away with a smile on their face. And if you have diesel engines or a fleet of vehicles, our team is one of the premier service departments in the region for diesel and fleet repairs. To show you the Roswell Ford Service Department difference, we invite you in for a free diagnostic report on any Ford vehicle, regardless of year or model. We are ready to set a precedent and to show you what quality service looks like. So come see us at the Tailgate Nation, Roswell Ford.
The average American takes 8 to 10,000 steps each day, and for those suffering from foot problems, each one can be agonizing. The podiatry team at Artesia General Hospital can help diagnose and treat foot and ankle conditions, including diabetic foot issues, arthritis, bunions, or other problems. Doctors Joseph Marino and Joseph Krupa are podiatrists specializing in wound care, fracture care, foot and ankle surgery, and more. Put your feet in good hands. Request an appointment at artesiageneral.com/podiatry APPT.
Sure, you can inspect your own roof, get out that rickety ladder, crawl around up there and try to spot the problem until... Or you could call the experts at Do Right Roofing. Do Right Roofing has quality products for any type of roof. They can even install seamless gutters. Do Right Roofing will inspect your roof and give you a free estimate fast. Keep your feet on the ground. Call Do Right Roofing today.
575-623-2273. Let Do Right do your roof right.
Find them fast in names and numbers.
Pressure Services LLC in Artesia has immediate openings for experienced vacuum truck, kill truck, and hydrovac operators. Operators must hold a Class A CDL or Class D CDL, at least 2 years of experience, and be at least 25 years of age. All positions require a clean driving record and must be able to pass a DOT drug and alcohol screen. Pressure Services offers great pay with IRA benefits and employer contributions toward health benefits. Please apply in person at 402 West Main in Artesia, inside the Age Safety Facility. Equal Opportunity Employer.
Closing in on 9 o'clock. Stay tuned next hour. We're going to be sitting down and chatting with Mr. Bob Power about the dinner he's got coming up for the veterans happening at the First United Methodist Church. We'll be doing that coming up on the other side of Morning Without Mike Winters. Stay tuned.
Your home for Sean Hannity in Roswell. 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
I'm Rich Thomason. The latest consumer price report igniting a powerful rally on Wall Street. Year-over-year inflation last month coming in at 7.7%. Not quite as bad as many economists were expecting. That raises hopes that the Fed may ease off of interest rate hikes. The winds have been howling and the rain falling in sheets as Tropical Storm Nicole crosses central Florida. Nicole roared ashore early today as a Category 1 hurricane just south of Vero Beach, moving slowly to the west-northwest. The National Hurricane Center's Robbie Berg says storm surge flooding's a big concern, even as Nicole loses some of its punch.
We don't want residents to be caught off guard and understand that these hazards will still exist across portions of the state of Florida today.
Mandatory evacuation orders in place covering several counties. President Biden says the Democrats fared better than expected in the midterm.
While the press and the pundits are predicting a giant red wave, it didn't happen.
Not yet clear which party will control Congress, although the Republicans are widely expected to hold a slim majority in the House. A key Senate runoff could determine control of the upper house of Congress.
For the next month, political heavyweights will be coming here to Georgia nonstop to campaign for both Democrat Raphael Warnock and Republican Herschel Walker. Texas Senator conservative Ted Cruz will be here rallying with Walker, and newly re-elected Georgia Governor Republican Brian Kemp says he too will be lending his support. What's not known is if former President Trump will campaign here for Walker, as he and Kemp are reportedly still on the outs over allegations of voter fraud in the 2020 race. Laura Winters, Atlanta.
And watching Wall Street, the benchmarks are sharply higher. The Dow is up 901 points. The NASDAQ ahead 603 points, and that's a gain of just under 6%. More on these stories, townhall.com.
Charlie Dombeck here from Key City Capital. As a practicing CPA for nearly 30 years, I have found that 80% of your ability to grow your wealth is dependent upon two factors: taxes and investment performance. At Key City Capital, we improve investment performance by diversifying capital into off-market investment opportunities in passive rental real estate and alternatives like asset-backed lending. We recover dollars that clients unnecessarily pay in the form of income taxes, creating a lifetime annuity of savings. We are a sponsor of passive, affordable single and multifamily residential rental investments, which are located in Sunbelt landlord-friendly states. These investments are the top choices in a rising interest rate and inflationary environment. They represent a store of value, protecting your capital from market volatility. Learn how we at Key City Capital can help you ultimately grow your wealth rapidly. Connect with me at keycitycapital.com or give me a call at 817-912-1569.
Another Russian pullback in Ukraine.
It looks like the Russians are finally moving out of Kherson, President Putin's last prized possession in Ukraine, which he could still sell to an increasingly disgruntled population. A few weeks before the withdrawal announcement, Moscow-appointed officials kept urging Khersonites to leave the city because of the worsening security situation. They called it an orderly evacuation. Kyiv put it bluntly, mass deportation. Today, it said the operation had been brought to a halt since the local authorities have run out of those willing to go.
The BBC's Sasha Schlichter. The sole reactor of a nuclear power plant in southern Sweden is running again, but it remains disconnected from the country's power grid. The power station's reactor was shut down yesterday due to unexpected turbine problems. News and analysis at townhall.com. In one state, it was the law, not fraud, that resulted in a deceased lawmaker's presence on the Election Day ballot. Correspondent Lisa Dwyer explains.
Voters in Pennsylvania did re-elect the late state representative Tony DeLuca in Tuesday's midterm elections, even though the 85-year-old Democrat died of cancer on October 9th. According to state election results, as of Wednesday afternoon, DeLuca had received nearly 86% of the vote, beating the Green Party candidate. But accusations that it suggests shoddy elections or cheating misrepresent the situation. Pennsylvania state law stipulates that substitutes, in the case of a death of a candidate, cannot be submitted after ballots have started printing. Late September in this case, a special election will be held to fill a seat. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
On Wall Street, the Dow is up 901 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
3 winners.
Oh, see, no, because that breaks it. That breaks the whole game.
Does it?
If I say hour number Trace, then you're supposed to respond with 3 winners. But if I, that's I don't know, that throws an extra kink into things.
I'm chaotic, so I mess things up.
I'm the wild card, bro. You ever watch Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
A little bit.
They have it's one of the mid of the run seasons where the gang decides they're going to solve the gas crisis, and they do this by basically buying gas cheaper and selling it for what it's worth now, or holding on to it because they know it's going to be worth more later. But they don't have containers to hold it, so they drive this rickety van, and they're filling these 55-gallon drums full of gasoline, right? And they're just throwing them in the back of this truck. The whole time, they all decide they have to be like characters in like one of those like heist movies, essentially.
Oh yeah.
And Charlie decides he's the wild card, and he just keeps throwing things into the situation to screw them over.
Yeah.
With the response, "Wild card, baby! Woo!" It's maxed out our mic processing. But
yeah, I bet.
And the last scene in the whole episode, spoiler alert if you haven't seen it, he cuts the brake lines to the van. So they're careening down this hill, and they're trying to slam the brakes on. He's like, "I cut the brake lines! Wild card, baby!" And then he opens the door and he jumps out. They careen into this apartment building. The last shot of the whole episode is this guy just casually, this guy who he's throughout the episode, he's just been suffering their chaos the whole time.
Oh.
And the last part of the episode, you just see him just like sitting there watching TV, eating a TV dinner, and just blasted into the wall from just the gigantic explosion from 2 floors down. So when you say wild card, that's what I think is wild card, baby. But please don't cut our brake lines. We need those brake lines.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, thanks. thanks for that.
No promises.
Appreciate that. I have a friend. There are some people I follow or I keep on Facebook just because every now and again they say some really interesting stuff. And it's not memes. Some people you follow just for the memes, but some people you follow just because they bring up very interesting points. And this and for me, it's my friend Steve Stone. So I got to read this. So I just kind of came across it on Facebook, and this made me chuckle. I just realized that Jurassic Park and America have the same number of syllables and iambic pentameter, which means you could replace the word America in any song and the song will still sound the same. Jurassic Park the Beautiful would have been a very different song, wouldn't it? Spielberg would have been considered a very talented songwriter.
Jurassic Park.
Yeah, so I'm just thinking like, what's that song? Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Coming again to save the day at Jurassic Park. That would be awesome. Freedom is the only way. Yeah, dinosaurs are coming for you. So now you have to answer to Jurassic Park. I like it.
Yeah.
So yeah, you have to be of a certain mindset to just randomly be sitting there and have one of those thoughts to just cross your mind like, Jurassic Park, America. Oh my God, it all makes sense. So, just something interesting I came across that made me chuckle.
Also, bulimia.
Okay, so bulimia the beautiful. That's interesting. Well,
I don't know.
Thanks
I just
for
thought
bringing that down note.
I was just thinking of something else with the same amount of syllables.
And actually iambic pentameter too, because America, bulimia, yeah, Jurassic Park. 10 minutes after 9 o'clock, let me give you the rundown for this hour of the show. Coming up here in just a few minutes, around 9:15 or so, we are expecting to be joined by Bob Power. He'll be talking about his Veterans Dinner he's got coming up here this Friday evening at the First United Methodist Church. That's going to be happening here in just a day or so. And we'll have Mr. Bob Power in chatting about that coming up here in just a few minutes. Plus, of course, all of your hourly features, which include your Pecos Valley News, your Wall Street Business Update, and anything else that comes across this desk here. Real quickly, wanted to remind you that we are your destination for all things playoff football. Coming up tomorrow, starting tomorrow evening, with the quarterfinals of the NMAA State Championship Tournament. First off, Goddard is going to be home at the Wool Bowl The 4-seed Goddard facing 5-seed Deming. That game going down at 6 p.m. Change pace from the 7 p.m. That game going down at 6 p.m. Pregame 5:45, kickoff at 6 p.m. And you can hear that game over on our sister station, Fierro 106.1 FM. Over on, or actually, then Saturday, you can check out your Roswell Coyotes. They're going to be taking on Gadsden, and that's going to be happening at the Wool Bowl, 1 o'clock, pregame at noon 45. You can catch that game right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. And, of course, we'll have that game over on KSVPTV.com as well. For your Bulldogs, their game Saturday, same time at the world-famous Bulldog Bowl. They're going to be taking on the Valley Vikings. That game going down pregame at noon 30 and kickoff at 1 o'clock. They seem to have a lot more to talk about over there. So we give them a little extra time to jaw jack before the big game going down. But that game starting pregame 12:30, kickoff at 1 o'clock. You can hear that game on KSVP AM and FM and check out all those games with streaming video, might I add, at KSVPTV.com. We're assuming this is probably going to be the last week of the playoff season that we're going to be allowed to run video for those games. But while we have it, we're going to run it for you over at KSVPTV.com. Haven't heard anything from the guest, have we?
Yes. No.
Oh, no.
I like how you FOMO'd it a little bit. Like,
yeah.
Like,
every now and again, you gotta,
don't miss it, everyone.
Hey, not every play is going to be a power play, but you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So sometimes you just got to lob it for the end zone and hope for the best.
I also like how you said world famous Bulldog Bowl.
That's what they tell me.
In Gene's mind, probably.
It's the world famous Bulldog Bowl. Apparently, it was like featured in a thing. I think it was like in a game.
Oh, really?
Well, they got a bunch of money, and that's actually how they were able to afford building it. Was like through something. I can't remember if it was like a championship something. I don't know. Gene knows all about it.
Oh,
he's our resident historian.
I went to the Bulldog Bowl for like the first time a few weeks ago, and they told me Jeffrey was telling me all about the Mac Chase building and all that stuff. And there's a hallway when you go up to the box.
Yeah.
And you can go right or left.
Right.
And the right is where everyone else eats their food, and it's nice and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the left, Jeffrey was like, "You don't go in there. That's the owner's building, or that's the owner's room."
Oh, okay.
Don't go in there. They'll eat your lunch or whatever. And I'm like, yeah. I don't live here. What are they going to do to me?
This is where we go to eat your lunch. And if you go in there, they're going to eat your lunch. What? Why is everybody eating lunch? But yeah, I've actually never been inside the bowels of the Bulldog Bowl. I've been there. I've marched in several contests actually over there in marching band. But never been inside of the world famous Bulldog Bowl. But either way, that game going down 1 o'clock pregame at 12:30, and you can catch those games at KSVPTV.com. We are Southeastern New Mexico's sports authority, then, now, and always. You know where I got that? I'm not gonna lie, I shamelessly jacked that off the WWE.
I was gonna say like the always was, always now.
They do this.
Is, always will be.
No, they do this. It's their opening. It just says, then, now, forever, together. It used to just say then, now, forever.
Okay.
But I like that. I'm gonna steal that.
I know
shamelessly.
I know Bret Hart had something like that.
Yeah, he was the best there is, the best there was, and the best there will be.
And then Chris Jericho stole that, I think. I don't know if he did, but he did something similar.
He said he was. He had a bunch of catchphrases. I think he said he was the best ever because he did the ever thing.
And then CM Punk stole that.
Yeah, he's just the greatest of all time. That's what his thing was. But everybody thinks they're the greatest. It's how you get that to that level of ego, I guess, so to speak. 15 minutes after 9 o'clock. Still haven't heard from our guest, have we? And he called last hour, so I assume he'll be here. Oh, there we go.
Yeah,
there we go. All right, so we're going to pause, get a catch of the weather, and then we'll pay a couple bills. After these, we'll be sitting down chatting with Mr. Bob Power on a morning without Mike Winters. Stay tuned.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Cooler temperatures on the way over the next few days following a cold front that's moving through our area. We'll be in the mid-60s on the afternoon high today, and it should be sunny, clear for the overnight hours, and we're looking at lows near 40, and then even cooler on Friday. It'll be a sunny day with our afternoon high in the low 50s. We'll stay in the mid-50s Saturday, low 60s Sunday, and sunny. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. 16 minutes after 9 o'clock. Currently looking at 57 degrees. Let me see if I can refresh that one more time for you. Yeah, 57 degrees with humidity at 37%. Winds kind of whipping out there out of the north at around 15 miles an hour with a barometer at 30.0 inches and a dew point of 31 degrees. Looking for mostly sunny skies for the rest of your Thursday. 69 for the high, winds out of the north 5 to 10 miles an hour, becoming southeast later in the afternoon. For tonight, mostly clear, dropping down to an overnight low of 37 degrees. Winds out of the north 5 to 10 miles an hour, so plan accordingly. Not quite down to freezing, but getting close to it. We're dancing on that edge, and trust me, by the weekend, we'll be dipping down into it. Mostly sunny and 54 for the high tomorrow. Winds out of the north 10 to 15, and then the cool front moves in. Partly cloudy, 27 for the overnight low on Friday night. Winds out of the northeast at around 5 miles an hour, becoming south after midnight. Partly sunny, gradually becoming sunny with a high of around 54 for your Saturday. Winds at around 5 to 15 miles an hour, and looking again, a high of around 54 degrees. Get up to 63 by Sunday, back down to 53 by Monday, and by the early to middle part of next week, 48 for the high on Tuesday, and then 47 for the high on Wednesday with a slight chance of rain. You just get a pretty good feeling that rain is going to probably turn into sleet at some point. So there you go. 17 minutes after 9 o'clock. I'm going to pay these bills, and after these, we chat with Mr. Bob Power on a morning without Mike Winters. Stay tuned.
Do you know what to do when you or a loved one has flu-like symptoms, chest pain, shortness of breath, or abdominal pain? Or where to go for a broken bone? Emergencies are never convenient, but when they happen, ask to be taken to Loveless Regional Hospital, where they have 24/7 emergency care, intensive care, and more. You can even be seen in about 30 minutes or less. When urgencies or emergencies happen, ask to be taken to Loveless Regional Hospital. Because minutes matter, and you have a choice.
Hey, if you're like most New Mexicans who don't have health insurance, it's probably because you think you can't afford it. Well, thanks to federal and now state-funded financial assistance, health insurance is more affordable than ever. In fact, most uninsured New Mexicans can get very low-cost or even no-cost health insurance from quality brand-name insurance companies you know and trust. Let the friendly and knowledgeable team at BeWellNM guide you through the process. Our help is free. Visit BeWellNM.com today.
Plateau Wireless delivers the speed you need. With low rates, no data caps, no hidden fees, and no throttling, now's the time to sign up. Go for the True 100 with super fast 100 megs upload and download speeds. Perfect for sharing, HD streaming, working and learning from home, and more. Or go for the True 500, delivering the power and speed you need for 4K streaming, gaming, downloading, and more. With plans starting at just $60 a month, it's never made more sense to switch. Visit in-store, visit plateautel.com, or call 877-752-8328. Plateau Wireless, a proud supporter of our veterans.
How often do you think your way is the best way? Every time, right? How often do you find out that your way isn't the best way, but you keep trying to make it right even when you know it isn't? More than we would like to admit, don't you agree? In Proverbs 3, Solomon says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your paths straight." Have you been relying on your own wisdom to live your life, but things just don't seem to be going very well? Are you lacking peace and contentment in your life? Maybe it's time to look to the Lord's wisdom to guide your life instead of your own. I'm not saying your life will be perfect when you follow Jesus, but you can find peace and contentment no matter what the circumstance. He leads you in the right way when you follow him every time. And even when life is hard, he will give you the strength and love to make it through.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
It's that time of year again. The 41st Annual Holiday Magic Art and Craft Show. Friday and Saturday, November 18th and 19th at the Eastern New Mexico State Fairgrounds. Featuring a variety of handmade creations by artists, artisans, and crafters from New Mexico and Texas. Mixing returning favorites with many new exhibitors. This year's featured artists are Becky and Galen Bach from Midland, Texas, displaying their truly amazing creations in women's apparel. Plus, delectable treats, including the ever-popular pumpkin rolls and cookies by Deborah Lucas. Delightful mini donuts by Karen Hendricks, and delicious meals by Eli's Bistro. Enter to win great prizes, including an American flag, a cornhole game, a framed signed Gordon Snideout print, a beautiful cowl neck sweater, and even a $100 gift certificate to Pepper's Grill and Bar. Proceeds to benefit the Assurance Home, the First Tee of Southeastern New Mexico, Royal Family Kids Camp, 4-H program, and Roswell's local high schools. Admission is only $2. Kids 12 and under are free. The 41st Annual Holiday Magic Art and Craft Show. Friday and Saturday, November 18th and 19th at the Eastern New Mexico State Fairgrounds.
Chimera Independent Physicians offers world-class health care right here in Roswell. With their state-of-the-art facility, your family can receive expert care from many specialty doctors and experts covering oncology, hematology, neurology, rheumatology, endocrinology, primary care, and internal medicine. Lab services, radiology, and infusion center, all without leaving our community. Chimera Independent Physicians, located at 400 Military Heights Place, near the corner of Country Club and Military Heights in Roswell.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. You burn more calories sleeping than you do watching television. For the ultimate workout, fall asleep in front of the TV. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning, 22 minutes after 9 o'clock on this Thursday morning without Mike Winters. Joining us in studio this morning, Mr. Bob Power. How are you doing this morning, sir?
Real good, thank you.
Good to hear it, good to hear it. So it is obviously the busy time of year. Everybody geared up for fall time, gearing up for the holidays. Veterans Day is coming up tomorrow. And as you do every year, you're going to be doing something extra special to celebrate.
Right, we're doing a dinner. Dinner and entertainment for the veterans. Okay. We've got a ham dinner with all the trimmings, and the ham is really good. It's baked with pineapple and maraschino cherries.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing!
Yeah, and the flavor is delicious.
We have a family secret. We always did this every Thanksgiving. What you do is you cook your ham your normal way. I don't think we used cherries, but we used pineapples. But then right towards the end of the cooking process, we would pour over the ham an entire 20-ounce bottle of Coca-Cola. And it had to be Coca-Cola. We couldn't use like Pepsi because we were a Pepsi household. But it had to be a 20-ounce bottle of Coca-Cola, and it always gave it just that perfect glaze.
Well, with this recipe that I use, you pour over the juice from the pineapple and the maraschino cherries.
Yes, the runoff. I love that. That sounds delightful.
It is.
Absolutely. So, and you guys, that's going to be happening tomorrow evening. Around what time?
It's at 5 o'clock.
Okay.
From 5 until the dinner is going to be served from 5 till 6:30.
Okay.
But the program is going to last till 8 o'clock.
Okay. So it's dinner and then a little entertainment to top things off as well.
We have entertainment. Malia Juarez, who is Miss Teen New Mexico volunteer. She's going to perform. Tom Blake is going to perform.
Awesome.
And Billy Joe Montoya is going to perform.
Oh, wow. It's going to be a busy day for old Tom Blake. He's got the Veterans Parade kickoff in the morning. He's going to be doing that. I'm sure he's going to be involved with that. And then, wrapping things up, doing entertainment for you in the evening. I'm going to assume that's not even the only bookings he has that day. He keeps himself pretty busy.
Yeah.
That's
I wanted to be in the Veterans Parade.
Yeah.
And I can't because my day is going to be spent cooking.
Oh, yeah, because you're going to be in the kitchen. Now, in addition to all this, donations are always appreciated. You had mentioned you ran into a couple of hurdles getting to the event, and you're looking for any donations that could be available as well.
Well, normally for stuff like this, the grocery stores donate.
Sure.
And this year they told me that they've already donated their limit for the quarter. I see. And they can't.
Right.
So
there's been a lot. It feels like there's been a lot more need this year than in past years, and I think a lot of that comes down to both with inflation, with still people dealing with all the layoffs from even as far away from COVID as we are. People are still dealing with layoffs and furloughs, and life hasn't fully gotten back to normal. And then prices are going up on top of everything. It's just been a real 1-2 punch, and I feel like the need is just greater this year than in most.
Well, I feel that.
Absolutely.
So it's we have a great need for this.
Sure. But at the same time, we still want to provide, and we still are going to, and you're still going to provide regardless,
right?
Which is absolutely commendable. But of course, any and all donations would be absolutely appreciated. both in monetary form, or if you can, if you're going to the grocery store and just you want to grab an extra side or something like that, just something along those lines that would think of Bob when you're at the store next time.
The groceries, no. We've got the groceries already.
Okay, sure. So we're specifically looking for monetary donations.
Yeah.
That's absolutely understandable because there's a lot out of pocket that goes into this. We're going to be feeding, they say you made enough food to feed an army.
Right.
And that's all essentially what you're doing, but you're also made enough food to feed a Navy, the Marines, the Coast Guard, all veterans. So you made enough food to feed several armies, and that costs.
Right.
Absolutely. So if folks can make a donation, how do they reach out to you?
They can call me at 575-910-4648.
910-4648. If you can make any donations, they will be absolutely appreciated. And again, this is that time of year. It's the giving season, but it's also the need season. With temperatures dropping, there's a lot more need out there, and a lot more folks that are in need. But if you have a little extra, Bob would absolutely appreciate any help that he can get. So once again, 575-910-4648. This sounds like just an awesome evening, though. It all kicks off around 5 o'clock. You mentioned.
Yes.
Awesome. And what's Miss Teen New Mexico going to be doing? Is she going to be singing?
She's dancing.
Oh, she's dancing.
Yeah.
Very cool. Okay. Awesome.
And I stuck something else in that I haven't been advertising. I have groups and organizations that cater to the veterans. I have some coming.
Okay.
And they'll be able to answer questions for them.
Awesome.
Offer their services to them.
Sure.
So this is going to be a big deal. And it's, the restaurants here are also promoting, but being a former restaurant owner, I know why they're doing it. They're doing it more to promote their business than anything.
100%, absolutely.
And
it's a move of goodwill, as a lot of places will say.
And this dinner tomorrow night is just to promote the veterans.
Absolutely.
Nothing more.
Just a way to say thank you.
Right.
That's really all it is. And that's the way Veterans Day should be. But it just seems like Veterans Day, much like most of the holidays that we celebrate here in America, have just become so commercialized and become all about selling something or.
Well, my opinion is that it's a shame that veterans are celebrated just a couple days a year. They should be celebrated every day.
Every single day. 100%. I agree.
I mean, they put their name on that piece of paper, and when they do, they don't know if they're going to be sent into action or not.
Exactly.
So they're willing to put their life on the line for us.
I heard somebody say earlier this week that the reason that they want people in the military so young is because they want the kids who, when you say, go run up that hill and kill whatever's on top, they're just going to go. They're not going to question it. They're not going to. It's that idea of, they're invincible. But then when our veterans come back, they have mental scars. They have stories. They have so much that they've been through and seen and had to endure. And it feels so often like society just casts those folks aside. You look back at stories from the 70s and even since then, they come back and they're ridiculed and criticized for participating in war activities when all they were doing was just trying to keep themselves and their brothers alive.
Well, that and then also physical fitness. I mean, I would love to serve my country.
Sure.
But at my age, I couldn't hold up out there in the field.
Exactly.
So they need the young blood.
That's right. And it is good to see that there's generations coming up, even as young as my kids' generation who, when you ask them what they want to be when they get older, they say they want to be a soldier. They say they want to go to the army like their dad, like their grandpa, and that's heartwarming, and it's nice to know that that lives on. Right. But tomorrow is really just all about celebrating veterans and giving them, just taking what should be a much more often stop to life and to everything to just say thank you for your service and thank you for everything that you've done. And we're going to do just that tomorrow evening. It's all happening at First United Methodist Church, correct?
First United Methodist Church is correct.
Yes, and that is at
2000 North Missouri.
North Missouri.
North Pennsylvania.
Right.
I'm sorry.
2000 North
I'm sorry.
Pennsylvania. Okay, so 2000 North Pennsylvania, the First United Methodist Church. And again, that's going on from 5 o'clock until 8 o'clock.
And admission, you have to go in the parking lot and go up the ramp that's there.
Okay. So once you pull into the parking lot, there'll be a ramp, and then you just go up that ramp, and that's where you'll be.
Right, and from 4:30 to 5, the Patriot Guard will be at that door. So if you get there on time, you can't get the wrong door.
Nice. Yeah, you couldn't miss the place.
Yeah.
There you go.
And we also have the Roswell Honor Guard.
Excellent.
Going to present colors, and it's a big night.
Yeah, it sounds like it's you've pulled out all the stops to make it a real fun night.
Right.
I like it. So it all kicks off like we said, 5 o'clock. If you want to get there early, early is absolutely fine. You guys will be eating from 5 o'clock to about 6:30, give or take.
Right, but they can get in at 4:30.
Sure. So your early birds, come on out and get in early and beat the traffic, as they say. It'll be a great time. It sounds like you've pulled out all the stops for a lot of fun. Miss Teen New Mexico going to be there performing, going to be dancing, and like I said, Tom Blake, just an amazing performer. That guy's I use the term vocal butter because it's like it hits your ears and it's just like it's so nice. It's soothing.
Yeah.
Tom Blake, he's got such a great voice, and so it'll be great to hear him perform as well. So we want to invite everybody out. Come on out. It's going to be a real good time.
And the songs Tom's doing are very patriotic.
Okay.
And for those of you that don't know Billy Joe Montoya, he's a good entertainer also. He plays guitar and sings, and he'll be doing that until 8 o'clock tomorrow.
Awesome. So Billy Joe Montoya going to be also entertaining as well. That's one thing I could never do. I don't have the talent enough to do a thing with my hands that requires like intricate, finger picking and also sing in time. Those people are magicians to me. I don't have that ability to do two things at once. So I'm always amazed with singer-songwriters and the way that they do. But come on out, folks. It's going to be an absolute blast. It's tomorrow evening. It's open to all veterans and their families, and that's going to be happening at First United Methodist Church, 2000 North Penn, starting at 5 o'clock. And again, and we're if at any point in time you have just a few extra bucks, even if it's just $5, $10, whatever, every cent is going to help Bob kind of recoup some of the costs that he had to eat with making this dinner available. But regardless of how much it cost, he pulled out the stops and made it available. And so I want to thank you for that and for your contribution to the community, because you always give back in such amazing ways. So we really do appreciate that.
You're welcome, and I'm happy to do it. The most important things in my life are my country and the people that serve the country, the first responders and the veterans. Absolutely. My family and loved ones come in third.
Mm-hmm. And so often when you have a heart for the community, that tends to be the case, is that your family ends up losing out. I had a dear friend, and I'm sure you remember Johnny Gonzalez here in Roswell. I was dear friends with him for many years, and it was very much that same way, that his family and his friends often said they didn't have a chance to see him that much because he was out doing. He was consistently, giving and working in the community, and that's just it goes a lot of times without the thanks that it deserves. But I want you to know that it is absolutely appreciated and it's seen.
Well, I'm glad to do it.
Thank you so much. It's a mantle that a lot of people don't necessarily want to pick up and carry, but we appreciate those that do. So come on out, folks. don't make this effort worth, without its merit. Please come on out and join us.
Can I stick one more thing in?
Of course.
Next Saturday, on the 19th, we're sponsoring a dance.
Oh, okay.
Up at Westminster Presbyterian Church, which is right behind the Champion Motorsports, the motorcycle dealer.
Right.
On West 2nd.
Right there next to Calvary Chapel. 2 doors down from Calvary Chapel.
Yeah.
Yep.
But we're sponsoring a dance there from 6 till 9.
Okay.
We've got a fantastic group entertaining called Cibolo Springs.
Oh, I love Cibolo Springs. They're absolutely amazing.
Yeah. And it's a lot of food, great entertainment, and everything is $5.
$5 to get you in. And you guys, and the dances that you throw, you always bring the spread. It's always, fantastic to see you come out just to see what foods are going to show up, because it's going to be fantastic. You're a master craftsman, as they say.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's going to be awesome. So that's next Saturday at the Westminster Presbyterian Church. Once again, 6 to 9 p.m. And that's going to be a much more festive, dancey time, fun time to kind of get out there and cut a rug with the missus. It's one of those things. I hear it all the time. The wife looks longingly at her husband and says, "How come you never take me dancing anymore?"
Yeah.
Well, now you've got the chance.
And very few people know this, but there's 2 singers in the group. And the girl singer used to entertain on stage in Vegas.
Really?
And then she moved to Fort Worth, Texas.
Okay.
And Dallas-Fort Worth is huge, and they have a lot of entertainers there.
Sure.
And Cindy Richardson won Female Entertainer of the Year 2 years in a row.
Is that right?
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, and all in that sea of entertainers, like you're talking about, that she stood out that much from the crowd, and that we have that caliber of entertainer. That's amazing.
And then her brother Marvin Roberts is the other singer.
Okay.
And Marvin is fantastic too.
Brother sister singers, they always blow me away, or sibling singers, because you have this innate timing, this innate, like, it's just built in. You know who's going to take what harmony.
Yeah.
You know who's going to play what melody, and so I'm sure there's a lot of dueling banjos at the Thanksgiving table for them, but that'll be fun. So that's so come out and join us. It's going to be a great night of entertainment. That's happening next Saturday evening, once again, November 19th, 6 to 9 p.m. there at Westminster Presbyterian Church, which I believe that street is technically 4th Street.
Yes.
I think, yeah. So it's on 4th Street.
2001 West 4th Street.
Yeah. It always weirds me out that it picks 4th Street in this town picks up where 3rd Street would be. It's a very odd.
I just gave the wrong address. It's 2801.
2801.
Not 2000. 2801.
2801 West 4th.
Yeah.
Right there behind Champion Motorsports. Can't miss the place. Come on down. So you're just packing out the entertainment now through Thanksgiving. Got any big plans for Turkey Day itself, or are you gonna stay close to home?
Gonna stay home and eat.
That's the way it ought to be done. Are you doing the cooking this year for Thanksgiving?
I don't cook for myself.
Okay.
And I have no family here. So if I do cooking, it'll probably be a TV dinner.
Oh, come on. Now, there's a lot of Thanksgiving dinners that are going to be happening. Any chance that you might make an appearance out of one of those? Maybe just stop by for just a visit, just to pop in.
Well,
grab a
anything's possible.
Grab a plate and go, because I feel like you've earned it.
That's
all we're saying. We want to make sure that you're taking care of this Thanksgiving as well. So lots of opportunities to celebrate, once again, veterans and their families and first responders, basically folks who give back to the community. We want to celebrate you tomorrow, specifically veterans. That's tomorrow evening at First United Methodist Church, 2000 North Penn. That's happening from 5 to 8 p.m. And it's absolutely free. Come on out for that one. And then the event next Saturday, $5 gets you in the door. It's an evening of partying, dancing, food, and fun. Can't beat it. Can't beat that for at any price in Roswell. The best date night ticket in Roswell is what you offer. You look very confused by the crab claw pen. Well, Bob, thank you so much for your time. Let me give out your phone number one more time. It's 575-910-4648.
Correct.
Absolutely. Is there anything else that we missed that we want to talk about?
Probably, but I won't think of it till after we're leaving.
Think of it halfway down to the elevator, of course. Well, of course, Bob, thank you so much for all you do. We really do appreciate everything that you do for our community. And once again, folks, any and all monetary donations, 575-910-4648. It would be absolutely appreciated. Bob, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Absolutely. We'll talk to you next time. Hopefully, Mike will be back in the captain's chair when we get you here next time.
Okay.
We appreciate you. Thanks again. 18 minutes away from 10 o'clock. Let's pause and get you up to date with some local news.
Now for your Pecos Valley News Update, I'm Jared Cirillo. Xcel Energy is touting boosts to the New Mexico electric distribution grid. A statement from the company this week says it's invested more than $76 million in projects to upgrade and build feeder lines and substations, and has completed voltage upgrades in several locations in the New Mexico service area. And that's on top of the almost $70 million investment in the region's distribution network the company said it made last year. Members of the Roswell Police Department SWAT team recently competed in the Texas Tactical Police Officer Association SWAT competition in Conroe, Texas. RPD was the only department from New Mexico taking part in the October 6th through 9th competition that featured 30 teams. The team-oriented competition consisted of 8 events during the 4 days, with most events focusing on physical fitness and shooting skills. You're up to date with local news headlines. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
Your morning cup of Sean. This is the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
I wanted all of you to think that your vote was the final vote that was going to actually mean something and tip the power in your particular state. I kept reinforcing. In 2016, Donald Trump, 3 swing states won by 70,000 total votes. That is a close election. In 2020, when you look at Arizona, Georgia, Wisconsin, Joe Biden combined 43,000 votes. This is a divided country, and we just have to accept it for what it was. That's why I didn't like the wave tsunami talk. I thought it was beyond naive and foolish, and I kept pointing out these numbers and saying that the only poll that's going to matter is those that vote. I'm taking some good things out of this. I'm taking some lessons out of this whole thing.
The Conservative Underground meets later today on the Sean Hannity Show.
As a salute to our heroes this Veterans Day, our friends at Blinds.com is passing along huge savings to everyone, up to 50% off site-wide. Blinds.com has everything you need to upgrade your entire home. Plus, with professional design and installation services, they have their 100% satisfaction guarantee. Blinds.com, they make it simple and easy. Just go to Blinds.com now through November the 11th. Save up to 50% off everything. Up to 50% off at Blinds.com. Rules and restrictions may apply.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. A group of 12 or more cows is called a flink. If you have only 11 cows, that's called a lot of cow pies. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning, 15 minutes away from 10 o'clock on this penultimate day of your work and or school week. That's a Thursday. Time now for a quick check of the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Cooler temperatures on the way over the next few days following a cold front that's moving through our area. We'll be in the mid-60s on the afternoon high today, and it should be sunny, clear for the overnight hours, and we're looking at lows near 40, and then even cooler on Friday. It'll be a sunny day with our afternoon high in the low 50s. We'll stay in the mid-50s Saturday, low 60s Sunday, and sunny. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 57 degrees. Felicity Finnegan. 57 degrees outside. Humidity at 37%. Winds out of the north 15 miles an hour. That's a Frisky Dingo reference if anybody caught that. Barometer at 30.0 inches with the dew point at 31 degrees. Today, looking at sunny skies, 69 degrees for the high. Winds out of the north 5 to 10 miles an hour, becoming southeast later in the afternoon. Get out there and soak it up because it's pretty much the last warm day we're going to have for a while. That's right, I said a while. It's getting cold from here. Mostly clear, dropping down to 37 for the overnight low. For your Veterans Day, at least the sun's going to shine because sunny skies, 54 for the high tomorrow. Winds out of the north 10 to 15 miles an hour. The big chill happening Friday night as the clouds move into the area. We're looking at 27 for the overnight low. Winds out of the northeast at around 5 miles an hour, becoming south after midnight. And on Saturday, looking at partly sunny skies, gradually becoming mostly sunny. 54 for the high, dropping down to 33 for your Saturday night, back up to 63 for your Sunday, down to 34 for Sunday night. Pretty much staying there at the 40s and 50s throughout the first part of next week, and then the moisture. Oh, the moisture returns to our area. 13 minutes now away from 10 o'clock. Let's pause and get you up to date with your Wall Street Business Update.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. Wall Street opened sharply higher this morning. The stock market rally touched off by the government's latest report on consumer prices.
It's the latest sign the inflation pressures that have gripped the nation might be easing as the economy slows and consumers grow more cautious. Consumer inflation reached 7.7% in October from a year earlier and 0.4% from September. The year-over-year gain was the smallest since January. Excluding volatile food and energy prices, core inflation rose 6.3% in the past 12 months and 0.3% from September.
And that's correspondent Jeremy House reporting. The number of Americans signing up for jobless benefits up slightly last week. Unemployment claims rose by 7,000, hitting 225,000. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
Hi, I'm Dr. Keon at Carabelli Dental. Same-day smiles are what we do. My passion is helping patients chew, talk, and live with confidence. That's why I'm one of the few doctors in the U.S. who can create beautiful same-day smiles with the latest digital implant technology. This procedure is life-changing. Just ask Sean.
Hi, I'm Sean. I've been that voice that you've heard on the radio for most of my life, but I'm also a dad to two amazing kids. I've had a million reasons to smile, but in all my old pictures, I was never smiling. Truth is that life of improper care and being dealt a bad hand genetically left me practically with no teeth. It affected everything from the way I ate, the way I talked, and of course how I interacted with people. And that's where Dr. Keon and Carabelli stepped in. They eased my fears. They explained every step of the process in a way that I could understand, and they made me feel almost like I was part of the team. And now, I can't stop smiling. I have so much more confidence, and I love looking in the mirror now. I can't explain how much of a difference Dr. Keon's dental implant process made for me.
Our team can help you find your smile too. Come see us at Carabelli Dental, 575-622-4455.
This is the owner of Trustmark Roofing, and nothing makes us happier than telling our customers no. As in, no pricing games. We give you a guaranteed price, and then we stand by it. No surprises, no gotchas. No obscurity. We don't just tell you what's wrong with your roof. We record our inspections and show you. No lemons. We install premium roofing materials from top brands like Owens Corning. No shortcuts. We're in the 2% of roofers with the Owens Corning Preferred Contractor Certificate for our local area. This means we offer precision installation and the longest warranties. Want a beautiful new roof that's built to last? Choose Trustmark Roofing, the roofer that loves to tell our customers no. For an estimate, call us at 575-755-ROOF or find us online at trustmarkroofpros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
Fall is here, but it's not too late to get to Graves Farm and Garden and stock up on green chili in mild, medium, or hot, as well as dried red chili, perfect for Thanksgiving and seasonal recipes. Plus, firewood by the cord, delivered and stacked. Now's the time to stock up on hay bales with Sudan and alfalfa in both small and large bales. And the Graves Farm store is open Monday through Saturday, 8:30 to 5:30, and Sundays 1 to 5. 7.5 miles south of Roswell on the Old Dexter Highway. Graves Farm and Garden, where locally owned means locally grown. Plateau Wireless delivers the speed you need with low rates, no data caps, no hidden fees, and no throttling. Now's the time to sign up. Go for the True 100 with super fast 100 megs upload and download speeds. Perfect for sharing, HD streaming, working and learning from home, and more. Or go for the True 500, delivering the power and speed you need for 4K streaming, gaming, downloading, and more. With plans starting at just $60 a month, it's never made more sense to switch. Visit in-store, visit plateautel.com, or call 877-752-8328. Plateau Wireless, a proud supporter of our veterans.
If you plug your nose, you can't tell the difference between an apple, potato, and an onion, unless you open your eyes. Here's Mike Winters.
I still want to do that, by the way. I think that would be a fun one to pull on.
Like a turducken, but for fruit.
No, the thing goes, if you hold your nose or plug your nose, you can't tell the difference between an onion, a potato, and an apple. I feel like if you get small enough slivers of each, because it would be easy to tell when an onion, you bite into an onion because it's got layers. A potato's got a different consistency also.
Layers.
But I'm curious, yeah, like an ogre. But I'm curious if I would be able to do that. So I'd love to blindfold myself, plug my nose, and get little slivers of both potato, of a potato, an onion, and an apple fed to me, and just to see if I could tell the difference. Because I feel like I could. I feel like you
could combine the fruits too. I mean, not the fruits, the vegetables and the fruits.
Yeah.
The apple, the onion, and
You
what was
could.
the other one? Potato?
Potato. You could, and it would be delicious, I'm sure. But that's not the thing we're researching. It's can we tell the difference? Because I think we could.
Yeah.
If you put me to the task, I feel like I could.
Because I've seen plenty of Facebook stuff where they cut holes in things and then put like sunflower seeds in some kind of watermelon or something.
Right.
So you could totally like cut a potato open, put an apple in that, and then put an onion in the apple.
Have you seen that one TikTok where they cut a hole in the watermelon and they take like a whole bottle of like blue liquor and they pour it into the watermelon and then they cut it open and it's a blue watermelon. It's like shockingly blue.
No.
But they tested this out. I've seen like the whole, factor cap, whatever. Which by the way, am I saying that right, kids today? Cap? Is that how the kids today say it? Cap? But they were testing it. They took a whole bottle of this like blue curacao or whatever it was and just put it into this watermelon. And they waited forever, like for a long time, and cut it open. And it seeped into just a little bit of the watermelon, like the rind, but hardly at all. Said it was delicious, but it didn't have the desired effect.
And I bet there was like a little red rim left.
I'm fascinated by that there's whole TikTok channels of wrong information. Like, why would you spend so much time and so much effort and what appears to be a lot of editing into literally life hacks that don't work? There's enough life hacks that do work for you to hitch your wagon onto.
One, they're evil, or two, just to make money.
I guess, but
or three, a combination of both.
Could be both. But yeah, it's a waste of everybody's time. The other thing that infuriates me, and I'm sure you've run into these. If you've ever tried to watch one of those videos on Facebook, literally like not the shorts, because the shorts are fine, but I'm talking about where it's like you won't believe how or what happened at the end of this breakup, and you click it, and it's just like 17 minutes of nonsense. There was one.
Nothing.
It's like wait till the end. This cake will astound you, and it was like a rainbow layer cake that at the end the whole thing was he poured this glaze over it, and that was the amazing thing. To wait 17 minutes and 24 seconds. I'm just skipping ahead, and like 4 ad breaks.
Oh,
like, you know exactly what you're doing, but I hate it. It's the bowels of the internet. I cannot stand that.
Just a whole lot of nothing.
If you're making 18-minute Facebook videos, just know I don't like you. I don't like you very much.
And Facebook's probably the biggest offender of that.
Oh, so bad. It is so. And then like their whole algorithm and watch time. If you watched a video for 2 seconds, that counts as a view. So if you're scrolling on Facebook and you haven't turned off autoplay and you've watched a video for 2 seconds, not only have you given them a view, you've also programmed into the algorithm that you want to see more of that thing. And I know this because I scroll through Facebook now like a panicked hostage. I'm just like, oh, don't stay on anything for too long. I don't want the algorithm to start giving me ads for this.
Well, that's why you turn off autoplay.
Good Lord. Dude, I didn't even Google it. I was listening to a show. I was listening to a podcast, and the podcast had a commercial for a product. I guess we can mention it here. I'm not going to talk about what it does. It's called Blue Chew. Okay? the podcast that I was listening to was doing a live read commercial for Blue Chew. I guess, and I'm going to get it again now because I'm talking about it in front of my flipping phone.
I'm going to get it now.
Of course, and so is everybody that's listening to us. But for a month solid, every single social media app I opened, whether it be Snapchat, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, I was getting flipping Blue Chew ads. It was infuriating. They're very creative, don't get me wrong, but infuriating.
You just started a whole market for Blue Chew here in Roswell.
I know, but there's another one too. There's this There's this massager that like weightlifters use. It's called Tim Tam. You ever heard of it? It's like a jackhammer. It's like they got this ball thing. It's got a giant motor, and they use it to like work muscles out and stuff. When I went to the chiropractor, he used one of these on my hip, and it felt so good. It took my hip pain completely away for days. So I went and Googled this product, Tim Tam, and sure the heck enough, for like a month straight, I think I'm just now barely not getting ads for Tim Tam. Which, welcome back, phone. Welcome back.
I thought just one click gives them a view, not having to watch for 2 seconds.
It's a 2 second view, and the algorithms are different based on which app you're using. Like for YouTube, you have to watch a video for I think like for 30% of the view time, whatever that happens to be. So if it's like a 10-minute video, you have to watch it for 3 minutes in order for it to count as a view. But and that's a lot with like monetization and all that other stuff. That I won't go down that rabbit hole, but yeah. Facebook is absolutely the worst at that.
I mean, you've been in accidentally advertising Meow Wolf for the past months, but we haven't gotten any Meow Wolf stuff lately.
Not once have I gotten a care package from Meow Wolf. I'd like you to know you're getting a lot of free mentions over here. Same with you, Las Vegas Board of Tourism.
Is Omega Mart a subsidiary of Meow Wolf, or is that
we don't have the time to get into it?
Is that just a
Meow Wolf is an art organization, art installation, and Omega Mart is another one of the Meow Wolf installations. So technically, the Meow Wolf in Albuquerque or in Santa Fe isn't called Meow Wolf; it's called the House of Eternal Return.
Okay.
And then there's Omega Mart in Vegas. There's the Convergence Station, which is in Denver, and they're opening 2 new ones in Texas. But the one in Santa Fe is called the House of Eternal Return. And then the one in Vegas, which I fully recommend, is Omega Mart. We got to go. We are closing in on 10 o'clock. By the way, if you missed any portion of today's program, you can always go back and check it out in its entirety at ksvptv.com. We just replayed a couple interviews in the first and second hours, genuinely with the Veterans Parade. That's coming up, by the way, tomorrow, the first hour. In the second hour, we played the interview with Sheriff Mike Harrington and the Chavez County Health Council, that in the second hour. And, of course, a great conversation with Mr. Bob Power here in the 9 o'clock hour. Go back and check him out, ksvptv.com. We'll be back inside your radios tomorrow morning, same time, same place, on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Till tomorrow, be seeing you.
The great one, Mark Levin, is now in Roswell on 106.5 KEND Roswell.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. Price increases moderating in the U.S. last month, the latest sign that the inflation pressures that grip the nation might be easing as the economy slows and consumers grow more cautious. Consumer inflation reached 7.7% in October from a year earlier and 0.4% from September. The year-over-year increase, a slowdown from 8.2% in September, was the smallest rise since January. That's the sound of storm surge ocean water pouring into the streets near the boardwalk in Hollywood Beach, Florida. Thanks to WSVN. Robbie Berg, the senior hurricane specialist with the National Hurricane Center, says Nicole has been battering the Florida coast.
Nicole made landfall along the east coast of Florida around